I
We
worked
sh
last night. Like I
Mm-hmm.
okay.
drove into the new year,
Mm.
but
Exactly.
I have tonight off, so I'm gonna make up
Okay.
for it.
We should be
Okay.
live by definition. Let me make sure that our appointed are had.
Okay.
Yeah, I
As
was
if
working too last night, so I kind of like
our
only
appointed
got to
are
like
had.
have like an hour and a half before that
Okay.
whole thing happened, and I like crashed. Yeah, I
As
was
if
working too last night. New Year's happened.
Mm.
Just having
yeah,
some chocolate here.
audio as well. My audio as well. We can have a conversation.
Hmm.
First, we're gonna start a new episode of Game Players. This episode is gonna be a little bit different. It's like no topics. It's a whole NFT situation. I'm not gonna go into it right now. We're gonna talk about how we start gaming, our favorite game moments, and also hype games we're hyped for this year and beyond. Sup gaming despair, you know you can join, right? We're gonna start with our guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Um,
That's a great introduction.
Wait, who?
You.
Oh, hey,
you're our guest.
hey, I'm
It's
Stage. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, just follower of Karaba here. You know, supporter. Just wanted to come in and listen in, but luckily it's given a chance to speak. So hey, man, I take that offer. You know, gracefully. No,
okay.
but
So stop
he has
being
a lot of
mad.
good things to say.
Stop being mad at me and him. We had a space about lasted almost 2-3 hours, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like we were going in at it. If not for me needing to leave, and I think he needed to leave as well, we would
Yeah,
have went another 3-4 hours.
probably. There's so much to
Yeah,
talk about.
I mean we're gamers. We play games. We're gonna talk
Hmm.
about them. And we're passionate about it. What you been playing?
Exactly. Me so far, right now,
Hmm.
I beat It Takes Two, and
Oh,
I'm playing Brutal Legend right now.
okay. I love It Takes Two. We are
Hmm.
me and Weep. We playing. We having a playthrough. I'm genuinely having a blast with the game.
Hmm.
There are
It's an
some
amazing
things
game.
that I'm not a fan of, like some janky boss fights. Some sections where I'm like, okay, this went on way too long. I'm not having fun with this one. Like for example, the entire B section, I didn't enjoy it that much.
Hmm.
Um the fight against that bull, that was janky as fuck. Cause you genuinely need to press the teleport button at the very last second,
Hmm.
otherwise he will stop. But other than that, I'm genuinely having a blast with the game. Like the mini games alone, they can make a full game out of the mini games alone. Like
Hmm.
some of the mini games are so good. Like and also when you play as a Diablo style game,
Hmm.
like that was amazing and funny and just a blast. And when you kill the princess, like that was dark. Like that was genuinely dark.
Hmm.
That was dark. Game of Thrones level of dark. The way her arm gets decapitated and then her left ear or right ear, and then you need to push her to the ground. Oh my god, that was so fun though. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think are uh, we just did the whole magnet thing.
Hmm.
We finished
Yeah.
that. Uh, and that magnet, that final bit was a little bit janky. when you needed to meet in the middle. Like I'm having a blast, but the game is not flawless. Like
Of course.
I keep it 100. But
Dude,
Yeah.
that was
again,
brilliant, man. That part was brilliant. You're just salty that you didn't figure it out.
but what else? Brutal Legend. Is this the first time you're playing it?
Yeah. It's the first time because the things I haven't had an Xbox in a while, so
How are you playing
so I'm
it?
just getting back into some games that like I know it's on PlayStation, but like I had it on Xbox Game Pass, so I was like, okay, cool.
It's on Game Pass. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's from Double Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All their
watched,
games are on it.
Yeah, I watched a streamer play it from start to finish, but I never played it myself. But yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, man. So what's up with the rest of the panel members? Introduce yourself.
Just wanna
You gotta
start by
start with
saying
Akira.
Yeah.
I just want to start by saying to people who can hear me, I'm not boycotting anything. Like y'all can boycott
gonna talk-
yourselves.
We're gonna not talk about it, but talk about it. Go ahead, Akira.
go
No,
on,
no,
Akira.
I'm saying it's an official statement. Like I don't know, like because I'm one of the biggest Square Enix fans that people know on Twitter or something. I'm not boycotting shit. All right, I can't.
What you be playing, Mister? I am not boycotting shit.
Well, that's the thing, man. I'm also playing a Square Enix game at the moment, which is Intermission, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, which is the DLC, the Yuffie DLC. Intermission. It's the greatest thing out there. It can win Game of the Year if it were longer. That's why I ain't boycotting shit from Square Enix because they
How
make
is
great
it?
games.
Up the cap.
Dude, like, I got. Hey, I'm not capping, man. The Intermission is just great. I'm having time of my life with it because, first of all, the voice actress of Yuffie in Japanese is the same voice actress from every Yuffie voice acted anything. Started with Advent Children, and then after that, Complete, and then with the remake. So they appoint the same voice actress, and yeah, she didn't rust one bit. She's way better on this one, and I really like how Yuffie's being portrayed properly. And this is in Midgard, so this is before they met, Cloud and the gang, or before she met Cloud and the gang, because in the original, we meet her. We meet her in the forest. She steals money and material from us. But like before that, it was like made clear that she was in Midgard, and I think this is kind of like giving context on what she was doing. And again, I played, like for now I played the first mission. Well, no, I haven't started the first mission that I met Sonon yet because I am just roaming around town doing Fort Condor, completing all side missions, practicing with a really cool combat that Yuffie has. I got 6 hours on it because I also beat the training ground boss, which is Ramuh, the summon. And
Wait.
What is it?
So, if I heard you correctly, you did what I did, and I couldn't do it. I didn't do it, which is you beat.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ramuh.
Ramuh, in a sense.
Yeah, I posted 2 videos of it. It was a 4-minute long fight. I mean, I died like how many times? I died 5 times, and then I started to figure out stuff that he does. I kind of memorized this pattern, and then I kind of what do you call this? I kind of saw how to stagger him faster because I was playing too defensive in my first tries, and the goal with Ramuh is be aggressive actually, but yeah, you still need to.
I am
No, you need to know.
I am
You still need to know how to dodge. You need to dodge certain attacks.
I am so mad at you. I am literally about to block you. Joking. Like
No.
I tried to do it. It's difficult. It's not easy task.
Yeah, no, it's
Because-
not easy, but again, you need to know which attacks to dodge because he has some
Yeah,
very
he
weird
has
timing.
dodgeable attack, but he has a lot of health pool, and also you're way under leveled, and also you don't do a lot of damage. That's the
I actually, if you, that's the thing, man. The goal for Ramu is to stagger him because when you stagger him, that's when you get the criticals. That's when you do damage, and then you do the art of war ability from Yuffie, which you can do twice because it's kind of like a chain. It's a string, and then when you stagger Ramu, almost everything that you throw at him after that would be critical. So that's how you cheap so much health from that guy. And then of course your limit break. You're gonna use your limit break not during the stagger. You're gonna use the limit break after the stagger because it's kind of like additional buff damage. I have a video, man. I can show you. It's 2 videos,
No,
4-minute
believe
long.
Please do. Please do.
It's insane because this is actually what made me stop integrate. I never got past integrate just because I tried to beat
Ramu.
Ramu with only what's her name,
Yuffie, yeah.
without
No Sanan. Without Sanan, yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's how I love to push myself through that, and also other games came in.
I have not started to the first mission because I haven't met Sanan yet, so I have
Me
not.
too, me too.
for
That's
it,
why
yeah.
I was the only time I was trying to do the whole Fort something, the mini game. I was trying
Fort
to play
Condor.
that.
That's also difficult. Yeah, it
That's
has a
also
learning curve.
difficult, yeah, and I
It has a learning curve. Yeah.
to beat Ramo, which again is no easy task. So shout out to you for doing it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna answer Weeb right now, dude. It's not cap, man. Like intermission is really good.
No, it's an amazing game.
This is the thing, man. Like, Yuffie's gameplay is kind of like, let's just say it's what I expected, but at the same time, they exceeded expectations because I saw a lot of really cool tech from Yuffie that's kind of like only new to her, like, of course she can throw stuff, with the boomerang, she do air combos way more than Tifa and Cloud. Maybe they will improve that in the sequel because they kind of figure out how to do air combos now. I'm gonna find out the tag team combos because I heard a lot of people going crazy about that with Sonon. So yeah, no man, intermission is fucking amazing, and anybody who played 7 Remake should play it as well.
Can I ask a
Yeah,
question?
especially
Because I
if
got
you
sorry.
own the PlayStation Plus version, you get the new version for free now. So yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, I own the game as well, but I also got the PS Plus version because my brother-in-law has PS Plus, so
Yeah,
I can do
that
whatever I
stopped me
want.
from playing the game. Like, because I don't have a PS5 yet. Like, that stopped me from playing the game because I wanted to play Intergrade. So I was like, because I heard you have to have the PS5 for it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, you
So you
do need to
wanna-
have a PS5 for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
But
you want to ask a question?
But you can always just claim the game on your mobile phone or on the website, and you own it.
Yeah, you can
you
claim
don't need
there,
to
yeah.
have the PlayStation for that.
Also, here, so if Stage is in the group chat and you, Karaba, there, I posted my 2 videos. It's 4 minutes in total. I split it into 2. You can see how I kick Ramo's ass. Basically.
I'm debating
Uh,
if I'm gonna watch it or not because I wanna give it a try myself. We're gonna move
Still
to
good. Maybe you can get some ideas. Yeah, you can move somebody else. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna move to Kay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I finished Hellblade, and I got the plat for that, which was really easy.
I feel
There
sorry
is
for you.
there's an urgent question for this. Did you play with
Ditto.
headphones? There it is.
I
there.
did.
Perfect.
I did.
Perfect. That's how you play Hellblade. Because
Yes.
if you play Hellblade without headphone, the experience is not the same. It's not the same experience. Happy New Year,
No,
by
I
the way,
agree.
guys. Yeah, go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
I really enjoyed it for what it was. It's different. It felt like more of an experience and a perspective that they were trying to show you. with you know, and the puzzles went in with that, because they even had like a little video to watch after you beat the game, and some of the things that people with psychosis go through, they'll make
Yeah.
meaning out of things that are meaningless. And so like part of the puzzles was part of that experience that they go through. But I really enjoyed it. So now I'm gonna get ready to play The Last of Us 2. So
Nice.
You never
Nice,
played
good
it
to hear.
before?
I have not played it. I know the major spoilers, but I have not played it myself.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
You got.
Oh man, you're in for a treat.
You got. Yeah, you're in for a treat. And just fun fact about Ninja Theory, right? They've been really advocating this awareness about mental illness.
Mhm.
They kind of want to do that in a lot of their games. Like I think Project Mara also has something to do with mental illness. They want to raise awareness again. I can respect what they're doing. I can respect it.
Yeah, they definitely have my respect. And after playing Hellblade, I'm not super excited for Hellblade 2, but I am interested in it, and I am gonna get it, and I'll play it.
Mhm. Makes sense.
So, might be a hot take, but I believe, what's the name of that game? Enslaved, Journey of the West, is
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ninja Theory best IP.
Yeah,
It's better than
exactly.
Hellblade.
Actually
Yeah.
agree with that. That's their best game. For me,
Yes.
that's their best game. It's my first PS3 game. For
Mhm.
me, that's their best game yet. Enslaved. I really love that game so much.
Yeah, I truly
I wish they
love
make a sequel or
Enslaved.
something.
Yeah. And the
Like,
thing is, that was multi-platform, and people still didn't buy it. So it tells you everything you need to know. Like
yeah.
they
I
just
bought
couldn't
it. It
have.
was really good though.
Yeah, no, I played it definitely. I love Ninja Theory. They're one of my favorite like B studios. So I mean, like they're definitely up there for me where with like action
Again,
games are concerned because there's less of
That's
those
why.
games from the West.
That's
no,
why
wait.
for
Ninja
me.
Theory. Sorry.
1 second, Akira.
Sorry.
That's why to me, I actually felt they regressed when they went from Enslaved to DMC, which I enjoyed.
Yeah,
I know the whole clan counter.
out of their
Nah,
element.
all right.
When
So
come to
Ninja Theory.
no. Listen, when it comes to the combat and stuff like that, I loved it. The story even nice. I know how they did Neo dirty, Dante dirty. I know about that, and I'm absolutely against that. However,
Yeah.
how do you go from that to fucking Hellblade? Like Hellblade
Yeah,
is
well-
one of the worst game I have ever played.
Oh my.
Like,
Oh,
stop me!
no,
No,
come
no,
on.
no! Stop me with this whole mental health bullshit. Like,
no.
stop that! No, stop that fucking cap. Like, mental health exists. Yeah, mental health exists. But you're not gonna tell me if you wanna make a mental focus on a mental health, make it like interactive, like the way what's called Detroit Become Human is. Those Hellblade is basically a mobile game. That's what it is. You can't tell me
Damn.
otherwise. It's
All
literally
right. So
yeah.
I don't appreciate this disrespect for what they have done. You're gonna have
For
to
what?
sit down on this one. You're gonna have to sit down.
Oh,
I just
The
want to say. I
disrespect
just
for
want.
what?
came out.
Wait a
She-
second.
I-
The disrespect for what?
Hellblade.
The disrespect, because I look at it as an experience, and I felt like, I mean, of course, this is all personal opinion, but I do
Yeah.
felt like I do, the puzzles, like I had said earlier, where they said that people that go through psychosis, they see things, they somehow like make things that are meaningless have meaning to them. And so when
Yeah.
you're doing these puzzles and they're like, you have to find the shadows, or you got to like look at a certain things at a different perspective to create a shape. That's what someone goes through in a psychosis, because they did do their research. They had mental health consultants. You know, they
Yeah.
went through a college, university,
Yeah.
yeah, to and talked with people who do have psychosis. You know, they said that sometimes you know, the world looks like a kaleidoscope. They did that. And just
Need to,
they really sat down with these people, and they
But I
translated
never.
it as best as they
Yeah.
could
But here is
into
the
a game.
thing. I never judged them based on their what they did. I am just talking about it strictly from a game perspective. Gameplay wise, it's horrible. Like when you're doing the puzzles at first, it's fun and enjoyable and unique. But after the seventh time, I'm like, I'm done with the puzzles. If I would say Hellblade biggest achievement to me, it's atmosphere. Its atmosphere is, I might even put it above God of War when it comes to how eerie. Wait a second, who is having who stage? You're literally. Let me mute you for a second, cause
I'm sorry if the game coming through. I was playing a game.
You know what? The
dude,
game is actually really,
the
really short.
you was in a space, Terran. Come on.
I know I was. I know you said you was doing one, but I forgot. I didn't know what time it was going to be. As soon as I seen you pop in, I popped out. So I came. I was coming.
Oh my god. And so the thing is, I understand. Here's the thing. I'm judging the game based on how it is gameplay wise. When you give me the mirror, either the mirror or light that give you the ability to do something, like when you give it to me after almost 80% of gameplay, and then you wanna get into the combat, like no. Again, I played better mobile games than Hellblade, and that's my biggest issue with it. If the game was again an interactive game like Telltale game, that would be amazing. But how it is, no, absolutely not.
But
I
like,
didn't
I have to
enjoy
ask a
my.
question though. Like, how would you, if it was an interactive game, how would you have her, take on, you know, the people that she's seeing in her head, or you know, you know, the tasks that she has to tackle, pretty much as far as like the puzzles are concerned. That as you know, it has that little kind of like not a prism effect, but like a kaleidoscope effect. How would you deal with it?
Okay, so I would just
In it,
simply remove every single combat from the game and make it either a cutscene or what's called either a cutscene or what do you call that
mhm,
uh,
The
Q2,
quick time event.
QTE, because
Quick time
again
event.
that
re-
basic.
I want to say that I enjoyed the combat. I felt like it was, even though the combat was super simple, super
yeah.
basic, I enjoyed it because it broke the game up in between the puzzles,
Mhm.
and it gave
I
you
just
something
want to.
different.
I just want to say this, alright, about Ninja Theory. So Ninja Theory, I have a love and hate relationship with Ninja Theory, you know, especially because I'm a fucking Devil May Cry fan. That
Mhm.
like if I could burn a game, I would burn their DMC. Like if I could, I would. But this is the thing, man. Like again, Enslave, Heavenly Sword, Ninja Theory has been proven before
Yeah.
that they got what it takes to make a good game. Now with Hellblade, Hellblade, this is the thing. I'm sure in Hellblade they need to make a decision, right? Because they know how to make good combat. It's just that the focus of Hellblade, it was obvious when I was playing the game. It was very obvious that they didn't really want to. The combat is the combat is supposed to be symbolism of you fighting your demons, basically. It's kind of
Right,
like what they did. However,
Exactly.
they don't want you. They don't want you to get away from that theme by by making the combat too good, because if you make that combat too good, people will be more focused on that combat and will kind of overlook the symbolism that they want to do,
So then why
which
have
is
so much
And they were also
combat
on a
then?
limited budget.
which is no, one sec. Which is the reason why, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. For example, even if I didn't play Returnal, I've watched some videos about Returnal. People are trying to piece together story and symbolisms from Returnal because a lot of people overlook it because the combat's too good, right? Combat's too good. People overlook symbolisms that actually some attentive gamers are seeing and they're making videos about it. And that's kind of like the thing with Hellblade. They really want to emphasize. They wanted to emphasize you are fighting your demons because you got psychosis. You hear all these voices in your head. You see all these hallucinations. You
Right,
are
they-
having
The psychosis to be the forefront of the game. And for
the
you to-
psychosis is the forefront of the game. I'm gonna tell
Again,
you right now, Hellblade.
that would be
No, one
fine
sec.
and dandy, but when you literally, again, if you only fight one or two times in the entire game, I would have agreed with you with everything you said. But when you literally almost 60-70%, no, gonna be fair.
Listen, I just played the game. There is more combat than you remember. There is
I played
combat
it.
puzzle,
I
but
finished it.
it's the combat might be shorter than what it takes to solve puzzles, but it's puzzle combat puzzle. I would say it's like 40-60. It's almost 50-50.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's why when I said 80%, I took it back because I remember.
Caraba, I think.
Yeah, go
Caraba,
ahead.
I think No, Caraba, I think your criticism is a personal criticism. I don't think it's a problem of the game itself because it's really more on interpretation of this game.
Yeah.
Because, like I said,
I agree.
the thing about Hellblade is I know a lot of people who doesn't like it, and I know a lot of people who like it, and it's very obvious that the people who don't like it, they don't interpret what they're trying to do as what they're trying to do. They're just seeing basically a boring game with a simple ass combat. It's kind of like what other people say, which is
Right.
which is very
And-
normal because it's interpretation. However, some other people.
I resemble everyone. I understand what you're trying to say, but don't think that's fair to everybody because I tried playing it too, and I understood what they were trying to do, but I found it personally annoying. I found the puzzles
it's all good.
annoying. I found the voices. I understand what they were trying to represent, but
Yeah.
as a game, it wasn't fun for me. And
No.
I get that's a personal experience.
Yeah.
In the same
Personally,
way, that's for you. It didn't bother you. You enjoyed it. You
Exactly.
But there's also a risk with every game you make. If you're trying to do something particular, something special to get a point across, a message across, it might not work for everybody. So I
it's
don't
true.
think I don't think everybody who hates it or doesn't like it doesn't get it or
It's not about doesn't get it. It's about interpretation. Like I said, I think it's like I said,
honestly.
you said you interpreted it as basically annoying the puzzles, right? The combat and
No,
some people.
that's not interpretation, Akira. I'm interpreting it correctly because I understand that the reason why you have these voices and the puzzle is designed this way is because it's supposed to represent, or make you feel like what's it like to live with mental illness. I get that, but for me, it's just annoying to play it. So I understand.
It's all good.
Interpret it correctly.
Yeah, and
But
the thing is that this game was made on a limited budget as well. They didn't have
No.
free.
Sorry. What I'm trying to say is this. All right. What I'm trying to say is this. Interpretation also can also include gameplay. Is what I'm trying to say. Because, for example, people who enjoyed the gameplay, for example, that you found so annoying, is because even the gameplay itself is they're interpreting it as going through the mind of someone who has mental illness, which you understood the theme. You understood the theme. However, it was annoying to you because maybe it was not the way for you to like how you would like to see through someone who's going through a mental illness, or you would have liked to have received it differently in a gameplay perspective. And that's what I meant by interpretation as well is also required. Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily that that I would like to see it differently. I mean, I get what we're trying to do. I don't fault them for this is how you would approach that. And yeah, I've seen other games tackling the similar topic, and they've done it differently, and I enjoyed those. But it's just a matter of you make a choice regarding your gameplay design to get a message across, but you're also taking the risk because it's not going to. Your focus is not making it as enjoyable as possible. Your focus is to make people understand what it's like.
Meaningful, yeah. Frankly speaking,
what they were trying to do,
I didn't. Sorry.
What they were trying to do was to close as they could to show you and help you see and feel what it's like to have psychosis. This was their interpretation, and they were trying to get as close as they could as to the people that they talked to, told them what it's like. And like for me personally, I loved the voices. Like I know a lot of people say they were annoying.
Yeah, no.
And it really is a person by person thing. This is like super subjective.
Exactly.
Interpretation in itself is, subjective.
I can agree with one thing with you though, because I'm gonna tell you this. As much as someone who I love Hellblade, my experience with Hellblade, I am fucking surprised it got a sequel. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Because when I remember this game, when I remember this game. And DMC after that, Ninja Theory have not been making any money, or not a lot of money at all. Like they were not making proper profits. They were actually almost bankrupt before Microsoft bought them. I think they would have actually begged to be bought. To be honest with you, because I was really sure there was. I was really sure they were gonna close after. I loved the idea was great, but like you said, in a gameplay perspective, there's a risk, and there was indeed a risk because this game did not sell that well. It really did not. The number is very small. DMC was
trying to get people to buy the game on Twitter.
DMC was a bit. DMC was. I think it's good sales. Considered good sales, but not enough.
Decent.
For them, not enough. So
no.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, the game was considered. They wanted to sell 200,000 copies of the game, right? And it would have been a success. It didn't even make it that.
Yeah, it didn't make it that. No.
Yeah, and the problem for the game is that they took on an interesting concept, and it would be very interesting, but it was extremely niche. Extremely.
Yeah, it was a niche. Also, that's also one more thing. And again, I would agree with because it translated to the majority indeed that it was a kind of game that includes so much risk because the gameplay perspective, it's not going to be super enjoyable for everyone or for the majority if we want to go that far because
I'd have to push back against that because of the fact that they had tanked with so many other games, as you said before, they had to make a game that had a concept that people could actually fall into, usually with AAA budget games, but something that as well gave them an interactive experience, but was at a decent cost to make. So they literally were looking. Yeah, they were looking for something that could easily make their money back, but even then it was still struggling. So I mean, it's a persistent problem with this company, but luckily Microsoft
Microsoft bought them. But again, I loved Hellblade, and I respect everything they did. I love what they did, and the numbers don't lie. That it didn't really do well. PlayStation had the most sales. PlayStation had the most sales, and it still didn't reach success.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, if I remember correctly, Xbox bought a little bit, percentage, and then PlayStation was the most. PC, I believe, was also like the second or the most actually. I think PlayStation or PC, either one of them. But then it still didn't reach the goal that it wanted. So it was clear it didn't reach a lot of people. It's like, and Xbox people were bashing the game like it was fucking boring. I remember that shit.
Yeah,
I remember that shit.
And you know what, funny guys? I'm gonna tell you what's real funny, right? So I love doing my spaces. I'm not gonna lie. I be in my spaces all the time. So we had a space one day.
Oh, really?
Yes, really, yes. And the funny thing is, right? So we was talking, and the guy who works for Ubisoft, and I said,
Alex.
Alex. And Alex
His
was,
name's
I was telling
Alex.
Alex, we was talking about Hellblade 2. And he said, yeah, Hellblade is going to be a really good game. I said, a lot of people on Xbox think this game is going to be God of War. He said, no, I don't think that. And as soon as he said it, a bunch of my Xbox friends rolled through, and they said the game was be like God of War. I'm like, no. If that little snippet they show with Hellblade 2 thinking you think God of War, something is wrong with you. I think the game is going to be
you can't make him drink.
No. I just want to say this. All right, I just want to say this because this is not even console war. I fucking praised it. I fucking praised this game before, man. I really remember that it was it was the Xbox. It was really like saying that it was boring. It was fucking terrible. The combat was terrible.
Bad combat.
Kid Smooth was also that, and then when they got their Xbox upgrade version, he was the first one to cap about it. So,
but he still didn't play the game. He still didn't play that game.
Oh, he didn't play the game. All right, so it was.
Did he beat it?
The point is, I'm not sure, but the point is, the point is right now, right? I saw the Hellblade 2 as well, and I said, you know what, the environment looks amazing in my opinion. The environment looks amazing. It still has its atmosphere, only a bit different because it's not the same solemn atmosphere before, or maybe because it's just too many people in that clip. They didn't show any gameplay. No, that's not what I meant. There is gameplay, but they didn't show gameplay people wanted to see. Let's just say it like that, right?
More dynamic. They wanted something.
It was not dynamic enough. Yeah, it was too static. It's like, for example, if Guerrilla would show a Horizon, like Aloy versus the elephant, and all Aloy would do is throw spears all the time. Yeah, that would be the gameplay that I want to see as well. So I just want to, I want to be fair to Hellblade 2. I'm gonna wait for like a second trailer just to see proper judgment. Maybe they improve the combat, maybe not. We'll see.
I think it's gonna be in the same vein as the first game. You all right, Kira? You still sick, brother?
And a little cuff, but no, it's not live more.
All right.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a better game, but I still think it's going to be a slightly bigger game, but I still think it's going to be in the same vein as the first Hellblade. It's not meant to be like God of War or a super action game. This game is about a woman going through things like psychosis and stuff. It's not meant to be that. And if you take it as for what it is, you will enjoy it. See, I always say to people, enjoy what they bringing out. Do not try to compare it to nothing else. I do that sometimes too with I love my Final Fantasy, of course, and I compare it to everything. But at the same time, it's wrong. You got to take a game for what it is. And if you do that, instead of trying to put it up against something else, you enjoy it. That's all.
Man, Ninja Theory. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the only thing I think that I would want from Hellblade 2 to improve upon is a more variety of puzzles. And maybe a bit more challenging.
And see, Hellblade 2 has found their fan base. Games like KJ. She wants the game to be, I'm not saying you want it to be exactly the same, but you want more puzzles. I'm telling you, I was in that space. They said they want mad combos like Kratos pulling off people getting ripped. And I'm like, dreaming.
They see this as a fanboy console war thing.
I just want to say, Ninja Theory is in for tons of pressure, man. Like, fucking mentioned God of War, and they were called the Naughty Dog of Microsoft. Jesus Christ! Like, what are they? No. I mean, dude, man, I respect Ninja Theory, but they're putting immense pressure on these developers. Like, they are basically They basically got bought. They're not that big yet.
Okay, I think this is the longest introduction ever, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry.
I
You're
want
right.
to end my introduction on Otter Nation. There we go.
Our
Go ahead.
nation.
I hate you. Oh, yeah. I was still thinking
Our
about it.
nation.
We're still in the introduction phase. Go ahead, Weeb.
Oh, finally.
Introduce yourself, Mr.
This is the Weeb Sheriff, aka Blue Rhizome. I've been playing, as Omar already spoiled, It Takes Two. And don't listen to him. The game is flawless. He's just salty that I always beat him in the minigames. Ha.
I believe it. I believe it. Mm.
He beat me in a few, but at the same time, I beat him also in a few.
Most of them. Jesus Christ.
But no,
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say anything about the minigame. I even played the
The
minigame.
minigames.
My issue
Takes
is
Two.
okay. You know.
Omar, take a joke when you hear it.
I know, but I'm just joking. No, but I'm really talking about in general for real. Did we not have a few janky moments when it comes to the ball fight?
It wasn't. Yeah, you call it janky. I just call it particular game design. I didn't find it in any way egregious. It was pretty simple to figure out.
No, it was not difficult. It was just irritating to line up and then to hit it. But no, I'm genuinely enjoying the game and it's creative. Like if you can go out and
To be
play it.
fair, I don't think at any time we actually had to look things up. You were about to look something up, and then I figured it out. So I think that's good game design if you can figure it out, even though at some point you might be flabbergasted. But if you can figure it out just by trying things or thinking about it, that's good game design.
Yeah, unlike
I beat it. You should not have to look anything up during that whole game.
to
Exactly.
be honest, I had almost to look up two times, and one time he figured it out, and the other time I figured it out. It's for the most part it's straightforward with puzzles. It's very enjoyable, and I love the diversity of it. It's not just what's called one place or one section. Like you can literally, it almost feels like you're playing 3-4 games at the same time, and I'm
Yeah,
having a
that makes
blast
the
with it.
genres a lot. Yeah, that's really fun.
I mean, I must have a big brain because not once during that whole game I even had to think, oh, I might have to look this up. I don't know.
I never had that as well. I'm too good.
It's okay, Omar. It's okay. We all have our weaknesses.
Yeah, I just want to say, Omar, by the way, like just about Rambo, right? Just want to tell you this, right? There is this
the rules of Omar.
No, I'm trying to help him, right? What it calls Yuffie has invisibility guard frames if you time it right. The first timing is the easiest, but the second, the third is normally the hardest. But you know what? Maybe you can figure out. I even showed that
Yeah, I'm
video.
definitely gonna do, but it's just at some point there are too many games to play, and I had to put it on the side
True.
to focus on
Sure,
other
but it's still
games.
not games to play.
But
I also need to finish this before Sifu, man. Play Sifu.
shout out to you for genuinely doing it. Like that was freaking amazing.
I love challenges, man. I'm gonna kick Weiss ass next. Like Weiss. Fuck. I don't know how to pronounce his name anymore. The guy with the white hair. All right, not Sephiroth. Weiss.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is an
yeah, I know what you're
absolute
talking
beast in the VR.
Um,
He's a beast.
I know he's a beast. That's why I'm excited to fight him.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna move on to again to Blue. What you been playing beside It Takes Two?
I've been playing the director's cut of Death Stranding, or rather trying to get plat. That's about it. Well, I did finally watch Arcane on Netflix. That's kind of gaming related, I guess. And I'm glad
It's the
to
best.
say that it actually was worth the hype. Yeah, it actually delivered.
Which game?
One of the best shows. Yeah.
Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you watched it? Okay.
Yeah.
I've yet to watch that, but I'm definitely gonna.
Bro,
do
no, it's amazing, bro. Arcane is amazing. I'm telling you, season 2 is gonna be dope.
It's better than the
It's gonna be
game.
season 2. That's subjective though. It's subjective.
Okay. Before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Shat. Of course, we have the Game in Despair, but this motherfucker just said hi and didn't even join. We have Nate, we have Ghostina, aka Ghost in a Shell, and yeah, and we have the riffraff like Kay and me, and Cyber Dragon, of course.
Bro,
Shout out to Cyber Dragon.
It's very good, man. 2022 is starting so good. Like, people are crying already. Like, it's
Huh?
just the first fucking day, bro. It's just the
What
first
happened?
fucking day. You know, the NFT Square today.
Oh
People are
God.
crying all over the place. Like, until today, until right now, people are still retweeting and crying. Oh my god, like, this is
Dude,
2022 starting so bad.
forget about it. What's your
I mean,
name?
oh, you don't want to talk NFT? Okay.
We're gonna talk about it, but we're gonna finish introduction first. We have yet to get to Tehran.
You just said, what's your name? You just
Mr.
said, what's your
Late.
name? Blue.
Mr.
Blue.
Late. We're gonna focus on Mr.
Oh,
Late.
Tehran.
No, what's up,
Tehran.
my brothers? I know I'm late. I'm sorry. It won't happen
I'm just
again.
fucking with
I was
you.
just in the middle of
I'm
I'm
just
just in the middle of a
fucking with you.
deep space. I know. Check it out. So what I've been playing lately is Dragon Quest 11. Is it 11 or 12? I think it's
No,
I'm
it's
playing
11. 12 is the next one, but yeah, it's 11.
yeah. I'm playing Dragon Quest 11 Definitive Edition, Indivisible, and I'm playing what's that? Astra's Ascending. I'm playing those three. I'm sick of Call of Duty.
Oh,
to the heart of me.
Astra
Yeah.
Ascending. Nice.
Yeah, I like the game. I'm
Nice.
playing a lot of
Nice.
RPGs, getting myself ready for Horizon. February is very close. I know it's a whole month before we get there, but when it gets there, February is going to be one of the greatest months in gaming history.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't care what nobody
I'm
says.
ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go.
ready.
we already.
Because we got Sifu, you got Horizon, and you got Elden Ring. Now, I'll be honest, I only paid for those 3 in that month. But
Mhm.
later on in the year, I'm definitely going to get. I know people don't like it, but I'm definitely getting Forspoken. That's a day one as well. You know.
Mhm.
So
It's a
really,
day
I'm
one.
happy. Day one.
Forspoken day
And
one, bro.
And you know what's funny? I paid for the $105 version. They said, "Why did you pay for it? You get the extra little DLC before she goes to Attica. Well, I forget. Attica. Before she goes there. Athia. Yeah. Before she
Which
goes
game?
there, I can. Forspoken.
Wait.
It's a
Oh,
90
they got like a
Yes,
prequel
version.
DLC or something.
Yeah, you can look it up. It's a prequel DLC before she. It's supposed to be before Athia. It says it in the
Can it-
description, so I can
can
pay
it
for
be-
that.
bought
Wait,
separately?
hold
Can it be
on.
bought separately?
Hold on. Forspoken getting a DLC before the game is even fucking released?
No. It's some kind of prequel extra.
DLC. Yeah. It's just before she goes.
What
So a little
the
bit more
actual
backstory.
fuck? You need to pay
I
the
just-
$105 edition to get that?
But the thing is about me. When a thing is an exclusive to PlayStation, most times I get the biggest addition to it.
No, but
Most-
wait
I
a
just-
second, Tehran. Wait a second. I need to understand it. Do you need
Mhm.
to buy the fuck edition so you can to play the
I'll
DLC?
read it to you. I'm sitting in front of my television. Hold on. I'll tell you how much it costs.
Can you buy it separately? Does anyone know?
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
watch
so.
it on YouTube for free.
You get the regular issue. You don't have to pay for what I pay for, but I always pay for the most when it comes to like when God of War comes out. I'm definitely going to buy the most expensive version of that. I always do that now with certain games. So I'm gonna read it to you what it says. After taxes,
Yeah, it's
it's
true.
100. Yeah, after
Pretty good
taxes,
kill story.
$104. Yeah, and it's 73 cents. It's $104.73. You get the Forspoken pre-order bonuses. I don't know what they are. An art book, and Tanta We Trust, and DLC early access to the prequel story, and rare resource kit. So I got all of that, including the game. But if I wanted to pay $70 after taxes, 75, it would have been just Forspoken and pre-order bonuses. Yeah.
I wanna know if the DLC can be bought separately.
It
That's
doesn't
what I
say.
need to know because $105 for a fucking DLC.
But
Just like
I mean,
I'm
it's,
looking at. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I mean it's
No.
$95 for me. Got mini
Mhm.
art book, mini soundtrack, pre-order bonus, Tanta We Trust,
I
whatever
don't give a
that
fuck
means.
about any of that. I wanna focus on the DLC. Like they fucking did it with Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. How you
Wait, what?
$20. Yeah.
you got
Wait,
the,
which
no.
which
I'm not
DLC?
talking about UP DLC. I'm talking about the whole summon that you can get. You need to either buy it via DLC
Wait, what?
or you need to,
Cactuar Mughal and shit? What?
yeah. Like that's some fucked up shit, dude. Especially for
I'm
someone
looking
like me
at.
that loves is very hype for Forspoken, and I definitely wanna play the prequel, get the full story. I'm not. I don't need to. I should not need to be forced to pay $105 for the fucking for fucking DLC.
Oh,
If it
Taran,
sold
there's
separately, I'm all done. But even then,
Taran,
why the fuck
there's two.
are we talking about the
Going in.
DLC when the main game
There-
is not even released yet? Like, what the fuck?
There's
Go ahead.
two prequel DLCs actually.
It's two of them?
And,
See, I didn't read it all.
So basically, in prequel, the Forspoken in Tanta We Trust, that's a prequel DLC that's gonna be coming on winter 2022.
Mhm.
And their prequel story DLC early access, which is basically for the main character. So there's two
And,
prequel
and,
deals.
and I'm gonna read some other ones off to you. Like we got 3 additions to Saints Row, the new Saints Row game, right? We got standard, golden, and platinum. So the standard edition is just a regular game. It's $65 after taxes here in Chicago, right? Then you get the golden edition, which is Saints Row with the expansion pass, which I probably wouldn't even buy that because I don't think Saints Row I don't think this game will be that successful. Then you got the $100 editions, even more expensive than Forspoken. You get Saints Row, the expansion, and Saints Row the Third Remastered. A lot of these games. What?
Sorry, I just want to say, I think, you know what, they might actually sell this separately after or something. Maybe. But you know what, Karaba? Companies need to, they want to make their money. So what are you
They
gonna
want to
do
make
about
them
it?
dollars. Every game, I'm looking through the PlayStation. Just a couple of games I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered a lot of games for next year, but I'm looking at some. Not even
Horizon
buy yet.
did it already.
Yeah, I got
Horizon
Horizon.
has also have, yeah.
Let me go to
Yeah,
Horizon.
I don't know,
real quick.
man. I mean, this shit is this is the thing, man. Like this is how simple I make it, people. Right? This is how simple I say it because, unfortunately, we're too late. It's too late to complain. It's way too late. So the thing is,
I just
these
found
are
out about this.
obviously these are optional. Because, it's gonna be up to you if you want to
No,
buy
fuck
or
no.
not.
No. Don't. That's fucking bullshit, Akira. That's not optional. They're literally forcing you. If you want to get the entire story, you need to buy the fucking DLC, which is $105. Let's not bullshit and beat it around the bush. No.
Oh, come on, you're talking like this is the first game company who did this. Naughty Dog did this before, man.
All of them do this now.
Naughty Dog, dude, your favorite fucking game did this before.
Did they though?
How did Naughty Dog do it?
Last of Us did it before. Right? If you wanna have the whole story, you need to buy the DLC. You need to buy, dude. You needed to buy the DLC.
Before the game came out, though.
Yeah, that's not the point. My point is still the DLC exists. Like, why does it play a role? Why does it play a role if it's after or before when it's still DLC that you need to pay for?
But the thing is this DLC? The question is this DLC that is planned, or is it DLC that basically is content they cut from the game to
This
sell
is literally
separately.
cut from the game.
Yeah, there is a difference with that. Yeah.
This is what they did with Spider-Man. Like, I'm keeping it 100. With the entire Spider-Man DLC is literally cut from the game. When you're telling me this is your vision, means your vision is already planned and created, just removed from the game to be sold separately. This is what make it even worse is this is not even that. I'm not even talking about them creating the DLC. Like, I would buy the DLC if I like the game. Which, again, from what I've seen, I'm down for the game. The thing is, I don't need to be forced to buy a fucking collector edition just so I can
relax,
get the fucking DLC.
They're gonna sell it separately. Like, come on,
We don't know
Yeah, the
that.
chances that's eventually going to happen.
Karaba, they're not gonna. No. What's that, Karaba? They're not gonna pass up on free money. Believe me. Like, they're gonna sell that separately.
It's just for the first people like me that's bought it for the first time, because I'm not willing to wait. So I always get the biggest. When it's a Sony game, I will say that when it's a Sony game, 90% of the time I get the biggest edition of it.
I will tell you something, Karaba. For example, I almost bought the Ultimate Edition of Lost Judgment because I thought that the Taito DLC that they're planning for this year, I thought I cannot buy that separately, right? And then I found out that they plan to sell it separately because it's not releasing yet. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna buy the deluxe one because so yeah, man. Look, I can understand. I think I understand being angry if it's only locked to this package. But if they're gonna sell it separately, like a normal DLC, then I doubt that they're not gonna do it because again, it's free money. There's gonna be a lot of people who wants to buy prequel DLC. It's kind of like a very effective way to
the Yuffie DLC. Now you can buy it separately and you can upgrade the free version of the game that they gave away, which is Final Fantasy VII. They will eventually sell it separately away from the main game. This what
wait. Intermission was not separate before?
No, but I'm talking about you couldn't buy it if you was using the free version they had. Now you could upgrade the free version of Final Fantasy VII they gave away, and you then
but
buy.
You still need to buy the DLC, but.
Yeah, you still have to buy. You still have to buy it because before.
I can play Final Fantasy VII right now, right? Like.
PS5.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, on PS4. Yeah. I mean, if you can upgrade the version that was given on PS4, I mean, it stands to reason that I can eventually, once I get my PS5, I can play integrate.
Yeah, you can. It's basically if you boot up the game, the screen is already there that you can purchase the DLC. So
awesome.
You know what? That's actually the thing. I just remembered that. So with Intermission. Yeah, you got the option to buy the DLC, and most JRPGs kind of do that. Tales of Arise did that as well, where you got the option to buy the DLC within the game. Lost Judgment did that as well, where you can buy the DLC within the game. So I think Forspoken might do the same thing, to be honest with you. I don't think I would be so worried that you won't be able to buy the DLC.
I will say later in the year, probably around the fall season, especially if the game is really successful. Just like Final Fantasy Remake 7 was really successful, they're going to sell it separately. It's just for the early adopters like myself.
Again,
you're going to buy it.
I need a clarification from you, Akira. What did you mean that Naughty Dog did the same thing? Explain.
No. I was talking about DLC in general. What you said a while ago is that you want to play.
Misunderstand me because I have no issue with
DLC. No, what you said a while ago is that you wanna play a game in whole, without paying for something extra. Is basically what you kind of said a while ago, and that's when I thought of the idea that basically to get the whole story of Last of Us, you need to buy the Left Behind DLC.
DLC came a year later, something like that.
Yeah, but still, it was still content from the story.
No one knew about it beforehand.
Yeah, that's all good and fine. I was only saying that DLC is still DLC, is what I'm saying.
Okay, let me download that game right now.
No, Karaba, look, Karaba, no. The point I was trying to make a while ago is just like, I don't see a difference anymore within DLCs, whether it's before or after. They are still DLCs. It's kind of like how I see it, and then I'm just gonna decide if I want to get said DLC, if it interests me or not, because they're still optional. they're not forcing you to buy it. That's kind of like how I saw it.
Mm.
Like, for example, so many people were mad about the Tales of Arise DLCs because it's a lot of costumes and all that shit. And I didn't buy any of those. I didn't buy any. Like, I didn't even buy the Sword Online DLC because I thought, you know what? I planned the game. I was fucking happy with it. I don't actually need this DLCs. But a lot of people bought those costumes. I've seen online how many of them bought those costumes, man. Those DLCs made a lot of money for Tales of Bandai Namco, but I didn't buy a single one of them because I was not interested. And then I found out the sort of online DLC is basically one boss fight and one additional skill for $15, and I'm like, yeah, no.
I will say this though, and what Kawaba's, I agree with him though. No, I will say because I'm old. I'm 40 years old, right? I remember when the PlayStation original came out, PlayStation 1, you were going to get the entirety of that game, extra costumes, no matter what, in that game. That used to be like that. It hasn't been like that really since the PS3 360 days. They drip fed it to us in that era. And then as we got into the PS4 era, they started to take out, and then I'm just keeping it a buck, I got to be real. They started to remove parts of the game and sell it to you later. Now, do I think UT DLC was made?
Remember on disc DLC? That's already
they did that before. Yes, it was a game. I don't know if it was Capcom. Somebody had a game.
The DLC was Capcom.
Yeah.
It was Capcom.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Street Fighter.
I wanted to. This is actually funny. I wanted to say this. We're still there. I want to tell you this because this was actually funny in Chris's Spaces. So we were talking about DLC, right? Right. So there was this person, like, he was very mad about the NFT shit for Square Enix, right? So basically what he said is, I couldn't believe what he said, because when he said it, I realized, oh my god, it's really normalized now. And basically what he said is, why do we need NFTs? We already have DLCs. Like, why can't we just stay with those? And I'm like, holy shit, it's really normalized, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit, like DLCs are really normalized. Like, people actually prefer to have DLCs over NFTs, and then it's going to be the same for the next big thing after NFTs gets normalized.
It's definitely going to be something else, believe me. Listen, this is why NFTs and DLCs are happening. How can you make more money on a single-player game? Now, I'll be honest, I'm going to say something I know it's going to be taken completely out of context. Halo,
do you know how you can make more money on a single-player game? By making great DLC for it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. If you can go ahead and say, I'm going to be honest, I think multiplayer, I'm not saying it's dying, but slowly, like, the dips are starting to come and people are getting tired of, like, the big three, Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield. Those games are not hitting. They still sell a lot, don't get it twisted, but they're not selling or the player base is not what it once was. A lot of people, this is just from my list on my PlayStation. I'm not speaking for anybody else. I see a lot more people playing the games like I'm playing something single player. If it's multiplayer, it's co-op, right? And people start to move away from the big multiplayers where they can throw DLC, TCL, whatever the NFTs, whatever it is in there, and they're going to definitely add another tier to this. Eventually, you may be buying single player games, but I hope it doesn't happen. I do envision one day that you'll get a complete story, but let's say if you want to see the other side of that story, you might have to pay for it. I'm being honest.
Yeah, but you did hear that Ubisoft made a grand total of $1,000 from NFTs, so that was really successful.
Yeah, it started.
Wait. So they got a good first impression basically from what they tried, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So they made $1,000 total. That's nothing.
Oh wait. How many NFTs have they released so far?
More than 1,000, I assume.
Actually, this is the thing, man. This is why I said a while ago in the space with Krista. Sorry, I think that people are overreacting because I see NFTs how I see cloud gaming. It's not there yet. It's there, but it's not completely there yet. Like it's still not. You know what I mean?
It's not ready for commercial consumption.
If we're going to talk about the subject, the thing, of course, is you're saying, okay, you're not going to boycott Square Enix, and I'd say as long as you want their games and as long as we don't know exactly what they're going to do, what's the point in boycotting? You don't know what you're going to boycott.
Yeah,
But still,
exactly. Yeah.
in general, NFTs are bad. They're bad for gaming, and if that because
Can you
Ubisoft
explain that?
made nothing on this, but there are games with NFTs that make millions of dollars. Like what's it called, Peter Molyneux, the guy, the developer. I think he was once the lion that. Yeah, he has a Kickstarter with an NFT game and he made like $2 million already, and the game isn't even out yet. So there's potential for that to make a lot of money, but it's also quite harmful because it's another form of monetization, egregious monetization like loot boxes. It's giving them the opportunity to create an actual economy. They can actually create their own cryptocurrency that they can sell, on the market, just to buy items in game, and they're going to make them unique. And that's the whole point of an NFT. You get a receipt for something, you own that as long as the servers keep running, and they can sell that for whatever the fuck they want. And that's kind of the problem with, and if games are going to, and aside from the environmental impact stuff, that's a problem with NFTs. So again, I don't know what Square Enix is going to do with this, but at least in general, we can say that we should keep that out of gaming. And I'd say you don't have to boycott them, but you can criticize them for it, because we've seen that what was Talker 2, they wanted to implement NFTs, and people made a stink, and now decide not to do it. So, maybe
I will say one caveat to that, brother. I'll make a quick caveat, real talk.
Sure.
They say at this time they're not going to implement.
I know it.
Yeah, see, that's what you gotta. You gotta listen carefully. See, not at this time. That's all.
Yeah, I wanna say like and all right. So in general, right? I mean, by now we are just aware that in general, not everything's black and white. It's always a fucking gray area of bad and good, right? And I'm sorry. And in NFTs, I believe it's just not any different, right? Like, of course, there's the bad side where you get stuff that you can monetize more. Companies should have more.
And NFTs are definitely bad. I mean, cryptocurrency. That's the question. Could be the argument that's made for that is that it's decentralized, so it's not a government controlling that. And people can make a quick buck with it if they're lucky, but you can also basically lose a lot of money.
You can. Yeah.
Essentially, it's a lot of scams going on. But NFTs, the principle, I saw on Twitter somebody compare this to, and it was a very apt comparison to, like, years ago you could like buy your own star, right? Like there were companies selling you basically the right to own a star, because there is legally no country can own a piece of space right outside of the Earth, which leaves a loophole because companies can sell that. So people bought deeds to stars, to pieces of the moon, whatever, right? But that's completely worthless because these companies went bankrupt, and aside from the fact that's probably worthless because no way you could ever enforce that. But these companies went bankrupt; their entire administration disappeared, so there's no records of you ever buying that. And that's kind of what NFTs are, because they're essentially a receipt to something that you can never own. And that's kind of the problem in general. And within games is going to be monetization of in-game items that are unique, that's going to be charged with ridiculous prices, and they just want to have all the fucking money. And it creates it uses a lot of fucking resources to actually create these blockchains and maintain them, and that's kind of the reason why people are upset about it, because it's another form of it's the next loot box basically, and is also environmental unfriendly because we have fucking climate change. And then these companies are gonna say, yeah, look, we're gonna go with NFTs, the most pollutant and worthless use of power you could think about.
Can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
like as far these companies are getting larger, and there's becoming fewer companies that are publishing, and they're gobbling up all these developers and stuff like that. And we already see where the end game's going. So the thing is that we know that these larger publishers are going to weather the storm, who are getting involved in this stuff. So I mean, this plan should last for years to come. The problem is the uncertainty that it has for the actual consumer itself, and where that lies for actual ownership itself. So and this is also gonna jump into other things, like as physical media eventually dies in secondhand user sales and stuff like that. Eventually, they move ownership elsewhere, which is kind of like a pseudo ownership. I want to know how long do you think the actual backlash is gonna last? Because I mean, we had the same kind of reaction to DRM in 2013, and so and of course it's not the same thing. Digital rights management, but it's edging on that precipice right there, where people are getting more afraid of not having control, the actual tangible control that they used to have over the things that they purchase. So I just wanted to know what you thought about that in the wake of this whole situation.
I will tackle this real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
People will say this is bad. 2 weeks from now, they won't care. I'm being honest, they won't care. DRM was a big thing.
It's kind of true.
They're not going to care.
It's kind of true.
Care if Final Fantasy 16 comes out with those things in it. People, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to boycott Final Fantasy 16. I'm not even going to lie. So the environmental thing, because I live in Chicago, we used to snow every year. It's not snowing anymore. Environmental issues are getting worse and worse, and you can't deny it no more. You can see it outside. I'm looking outside. There's barely any snow. And it's not as cold as it used to be here in the city. It's warmer every year now, right? We see that. No matter where you live at, you can feel the environmental damage going on. This is going to be a super starter for environmental damage because, as you said, the companies that make gaming is getting bigger and bigger. I will be honest, in 10 years, Sony, Microsoft, and even Nintendo, and even any other third-party developer, they're going to be huge companies. They're big now. But think about how much gaming is growing every year. Women are getting into it. Younger kids are getting into it. And all this money is coming in. This money, at least in America, I'm not going to speak for any place else in the world, money buys influence here like no other.
Yep.
And they're not going to stop. They got gambling in it, kids stealing parents' credit cards, making purchases, all kinds of. Are they trying to
got
stop?
In trouble with that, yeah.
Yeah, they're not. And as their influence become bigger, I'll say it. I would predict this, and you can call me crazy. In 10 years, Microsoft is already $1 trillion company on other things, but Sony and Nintendo will be, if not $1 trillion companies through gaming, will be close to it. If you even look at their stocks are up 80,
half a
100%.
trillion at the most. Half a trillion at the most.
Well, I'm just saying they're going to be vastly more valuable companies. And in America, I'm not going to speak for Japan. I'm not going to speak for Europe because I don't know their laws. But here in America, you can make a congressman, or I said, you call Joe Manchin and whatever you want, he got you.
Oh my god!
Real talk, Joe.
Oh my god! You had to bring up that. Oh god!
Call Joe Manchin and he got you.
But again,
that's dirty.
And if we're worried about NFTs, pollution, whatever it is, it's not going to matter. Now, like I said, once again, I'm not in Japan, I'm not in Europe, I just know America.
Yeah.
And here, money talks. Sony becomes $1 trillion company. Let's say in 8 years from now. Not saying it's going, but just even a $500 billion trillion company. Their influence in this country will rise, even though they're not even from here.
Yeah, sure, but NFTs are going to fail. Cause
I don't know.
I'm 100% certain it will fail.
I'm going to say it like this.
Currency actually has
one
second. Sorry.
I'm going to say it like this.
I'm saying NFTs.
No, I understand. I was just saying because that kind of plays into it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know they're related, but the problem is that a lot of governments are looking into regulating that shit. So
yeah, of course, that's
by
the
time that they've figured out how to effectively use this, it's going to be regulated and they can't use it. So this is going to be they're probably going to try to make as much money as they can currently, and trying to tiptoe around, because obviously people are going to cry foul every time they're announced that.
Yeah.
But it's not good. Like in 10 years from now, I don't think that every game is going to have NFTs. I think this is going to be forgotten by then.
Very
And they probably
y'all have a lot of faith in humanity. Huh?
I'm
they're
just
going to find another way to screw us over. I'm 100% certain of that as well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that I'm pretty indifferent to it, right? Because like I told so many people, I ain't boycotting shit because it's so simple to me too, right? I respect people with conviction to fight, like one person can cause change or something like this. Like I am 26 years old, I didn't see one fucking example that shit happened. So this is like how I decided now is basically very simple. I'm gonna be indifferent to things like this because at the end of the day, the powerful has the power. At the end of the day, and I am a consumer and I want products, and it's the normal thing it is that we humans are, and I'd rather enjoy myself than deprive myself of something I enjoy for a pointless cost. That's kind of like how I see it.
So you took the blue pill.
No, I'll make a real quick point.
Just kidding.
If you want to stop pollution as well, take away everybody's cars. You think most of these people are going to give up their cars, especially in America? No. You want to give up certain things that will make the planet cleaner or be more fair equity in this planet, but you have to give up something? Akira and me just answered for you. No. They won't
basically,
do it. I mean, this is
basically it's true.
Rights are taking over. Once digital rights are giving more power to the actual corporation, the actual consumers' rights decrease. So, I mean, and remember, corporations found a way to make themselves long ago into actual individuals. So that puts them at odds with us on a legal level.
Bro, it's happening. It's happening already. The reduction of consumer rights, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fucking the rent services, bro. Rent services, like you already got reduced.
This is why, as much as we detest GameStop, we need them.
You know what's
like
funny?
We already have reduced consumer rights with these rent services. You don't own shit.
I make jokes and say Shinra from Final Fantasy is real. It does seem like Shinra's real today, don't it? it's like we're sitting in here talking about what the consumer should stand up and fight. And then I can go to Twitter, I can go to anywhere, and I will ask this, we should band together and yell this down, and no one would even respond. That's the bad thing.
I don't even know if, I don't, let's just say, again, I live in fucking gray area, and, I'm a realist, I'm not as hopeful as I am when I was younger. Let's just say it like that, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen shit. I've seen shit. I've experienced shit, and this. Again, I respect convictions from people who wants to fight things because they think one person to change. But again, I'm 26 years old. Live all my life. I have not seen one example that it happened. It's always that who has the power, or it's majority wins. Now, for example, if you're against something, but you are in the minority, you're not in the majority, you're not going to win whatever you deprive yourself of. You're basically just punishing yourself in the process. And it's kind of like how I see it as well. That's why, by the time all these popular things, all these popular things happen, like what companies do to monetize shit, and let's say, there's nothing stopping them anymore because, the majority's buying it, majority's getting them. Dude, the biggest money maker for game companies right now, as we saw in those numbers, are freaking DLCs. And what happened to all the mad people that I see on social media that are mad about DLC? Where the hell are they? They're the minority.
That's the problem. It's like that psychology experiment, right? People think that they know what, how they're going to react to things, but when you actually don't say anything to people and just watch them behave, you actually see the actual truth. And that's the thing with these corporations, why they kind of stay quiet while people complain, because eventually they'll Yep.
I kind of, like, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's called giving up, but I just basically I just said, we human beings, we are selfish anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna live for my
Most selfish things
family
to
and
watch out for.
myself,
Exactly.
whatever
I knew that was
makes
going to
my
be your answer.
family happy and
Yeah.
whatever makes myself happy is kind of like what I'm gonna go with. Life is too short for me to fight a pointless battle, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of like how I saw it. And if they succeed in fighting whatever, just say, hey man, I'm be happy for you. If not, then I'm gonna keep going, keep gaming whatever I want to play, basically.
Yeah, and that's
I
the thing.
agree. I agree with
You're
that.
one person. There's millions of other people who understand the situation, are willing to do whatever they have to do individually. So I mean, you
I
don't
agree
have
with
to
you.
feel the pressure to do anything. Remember, you're an individual. You have a family to take care of. You have a child. So I mean, the more power to you with whatever you choose to do.
Yeah,
And
again, it's
I agree with Stage a
pointless.
lot. I believe we should fight this, but will people do it? No. It's the same thing with
Hmm.
DRM. People fought it for a little while
Hmm.
and they stopped. It's almost like two political parties, like the Republicans and Democrats always loved on this here. Your side is wrong. Know your side wrong. But yeah, our side is wrong, but at least they're on our side. And
I
then
mean,
what happens?
man, like
But they're
like
still
Trump.
fighting DRM though. I
I
mean,
mean,
put
Trump.
put,
You
put
know,
DRM
Huh?
on the game on PC and
yeah,
they
no, no,
crack
no,
it
no, no,
with
no.
everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm being honest. I mean, if everybody should fight, we should be. I mean, I
No,
was on
it's true,
Twitter
babe.
today. People are not talking about it, not like that. No,
No,
it
no,
ain't
it's it's
blowing
it's,
up. It ain't trending. Nothing.
it's true,
Nothing.
Weeb. Again, like I said, there are people who's gonna fight it because they have, again. I respect the conviction.
Hmm.
This uh sense of basically they have that desire to fight, right? And again, I'm not gonna be against that, but
Yeah, it's not
like
for
people.
everybody, dude. But there will
Yeah,
be people who
people should not blame people who does not want to fight, basically,
exactly, and
because
they said it right there. People in the
if
PC
they see,
community are big on fighting that.
I mean,
We'll see.
movies and animes, right? Movies,
Yeah.
animes, and games. It's always great to see the chosen one. It's always great to see,
Chosen.
the weak beating the strong and shit like that. But it's kind of like
No,
it's
but I mean,
almost a miracle in real life,
no. I mean, with the internet bringing us all together and stuff like that, you actually have these large communities, and especially on the PC basis, they make use of the actual communities that they have, opposed to console gamers who are in closed environments and usually are separate from one another.
Yeah.
And so the thing, and they don't really like involve themselves with the community managers like the PC gamers do. So I mean, eventually, the place where people are most free, of course, on PC, you see a more democratized response, and this is why games like Battlefield got the response that it did. This is why games like Shadow of War had the response that it did, and luckily they did. I mean, eventually, you have millennial,
Mm.
governors and stuff like that, like or leaders, around the world who are actually paying attention to this, who are in the newer generations.
Are you talking
Speak
about Star Wars Battlefront?
exactly,
Okay,
and
I
so
was
EA wants
wondering
support for
because
that.
the
Yeah.
whole Shadow of War, people were not mad about it because people bought the game.
No, they were mad about that. No,
No, they were
they were
mad.
mad about that.
They took
They were
out
mad
they
about
took out
that.
the yeah, they changed the game a little bit and tweaked it so that it was the people who purchased the game wouldn't have to go through so much grinding and pay for like what was it to
Boxes.
yeah, the loot boxes to make the game easier. It was
I remember that.
considered
Yeah,
too
people were
much.
very mad about that.
Yep.
Till today, I've yet to play that game. Still, despite
It's
the
a good
fact
game.
PlayStation gave it for free,
It's
and I still yet to
it's a
play
good
the
game,
game
though.
because,
It's
and
a
I
good game.
played the first
Ah,
game and I
okay.
enjoyed it. But I'm not gonna play a game when you try to fuck me over like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Shadow
also fair
War,
as well.
Shadow
I mean,
Border is a good
nobody's
game,
wrong in
bro.
this. It's that there's so
It's a
many
good game.
people. Yeah, you just have to have enough voices.
War is trash.
No. Look, all right, look. If we're talking about story, right? Maybe that's debatable, but I'm talking about like the games themselves. The process, the gameplay.
When
Shadow War
launched,
improves a
it
lot.
was grindy as hell because they wanted you to buy the loot boxes.
Yeah,
And
that I
that's
can
why
understand, but gameplay.
Also,
I mean, in
also,
general.
We only have
also,
one chance
the
of making
ending,
it
they
easy question.
force you to either grind a lot, monotonous grinding, or pay for the
No, no,
ending.
no. In the ending, you actually also need you need to play the DLCs. Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
fine. You need to
So,
play
Oh,
the
the loot
DLCs,
You'll
the
see.
DLC, and 100% the game, and see Talion get his perfect end because he deserves it. Because Celebrimbor is a dick. Like, fuck that guy. What?
That's a cap. Chef Mordor was great, but War was fucking garbage.
No, I said both of them are. I enjoyed both of them. All right, I'm just saying, like my experience with it.
All right.
Like they're gonna make the next Wonder Woman game with the Nemesis system, so hopefully that's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's also the only games that are going to have the Nemesis system since they patented
Yeah,
it.
they patented it. I was actually mad about that. They patented that because there's so many more developers who can use that system. But yeah, no, fine. They can pay in shit now. Like if Bluebird Team can pay in stuff that they don't own, then why can't Monolith pay in shit that they own?
The only reason why companies should patent it is to prevent other companies from patenting it. But other than that, it's bad practice.
It
because
is bad. Yeah.
Everything, the entire gaming industry is based on copying each other. I mean, game mechanics have been copied and improved for generations, and now we're suddenly going to patent it.
Isn't Nintendo patenting moves that only Zelda can do on the next Breath of the Wild? At least that's what I was told. Is that true?
I didn't see any headlines or articles about that. I know about Sony. They patented something from Death Stranding. That was world changing.
Yeah, it's called the elephant path, right? That the path
you know what?
form when people walk over them. Yeah.
That patent is not so bad compared to Monolith because at least there's a lot of studios who can still use it because Sony is the one who patented it, right? So basically, all their studios can use it.
And the question is what to do because I think Microsoft did. It wasn't. I don't think it was. No, it was not gaming related, but they did something, and then made it available to other companies. You just said, okay, at least for now, they patented it so that others couldn't patent it and make it, force people to pay for it or sue people when they use it. So if they're gonna, I definitely hope that they're gonna do that. That to just say, okay, look, we're gonna just patent all this shit, pull together, make sure that these patent trolls can't get to it, and people use it to make your games. That's what they should do.
Trolls like Bloober, fucking Bloober Team, man, they piss me off. Dude, like they suck at what they did and they patented the mechanic. Like, Jesus, man. Like they you know that, right? They patented the twin world shit that they actually stole from somebody else. Yeah, they actually they stole that idea and they had the fucking audacity to patent it because it's theirs now, so that nobody else can steal it. Man, like the audacity of these assholes.
Said the gaming industry is meant to have copy and paste. People copies each other was successful.
Yep.
Yeah, but Bloober is shit. He was very proud when he patented. Like, I'm very proud about this. Like, he fucking created it or something. Like, he didn't even create the mechanic. The mechanic was how old was it? I think it was the 90s. It was a 90s game that he stole from. With the twin world shit. I can't really believe that you can steal a mechanic like that, just like that. Oh man, those laws are so weird. Like patent laws are so fucking weird, man. There's no grounds or something on what to patent or what you're allowed to patent.
Because he's not the first who did it. He did it in a different way.
Before we continue the conversation, we have an additional party member that.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself, Morgana.
Morgan! Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Hey, what's up, Morgan?
No, it's okay. I told you you're gonna 50% of your payment. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, y'all's conversation about NFT has been very intriguing. But it's Morgan, aka Chill Bandit. Uh, my thoughts, particularly on NFT, at least when it comes to the Square Enix issue, is kind of like a wait and see. I'm not a fan of NFTs. I don't, especially in video games, especially video games that I really care about. But we don't really know exactly what Square Enix is going to do, particularly with their NFT. So right now, I'm just kind of waiting to see how it's implemented and if it's crazy egregious or not. But yeah, right now it's just a waiting game for this particular incident.
Yeah, no,
But
it's
yeah.
true. It's like what
Okay.
Chris Pratt just
Now,
said.
Tehran, what do you want to say?
No, I'm just agreeing with everybody. I ain't saying anything. I'm just saying that I agree with everybody. Wait and see, but I just think even if this is not egregious, sooner or later it's gonna. They always say things. They start off kind of slow. Over time, it gets worse and worse. That's all I want to say.
hmm Yeah, that's my entire thing. Is again, I said it once and I will say it again. You don't invest in something if you don't see a lot of money coming out of it, and you're gonna monetize it and fuck your consumer base over. That's why I am worried about NFT. That's why I'm speaking out against NFT.
Uh, I think
And
I think Morgan has. I think Morgan really has. No, I mean like Chris Righteous was. I think it's the best course of action right now. I think Weeb also said the same. It's really it's really wait and see because we don't even know what we're hating at. Like we don't even know what exactly we're worried about. Like this is what I think, right? Like I think
yes,
NFTs
yes,
like
okay,
people have
but
this.
Akira,
No.
listen,
One sec. One sec.
no.
Like
Let me make my point
my
and then you go ahead and make your point. My thing is, do we really need to wait and see? Because look what happened with what's called loot boxes. Look what happened with DLC. Look how we went from DLC being an armor set for your fucking horse to other way now. Companies cutting games in pieces just to sell them as DLC. Like, absolutely the whole wait and see approach. I'm sorry, Morgan, but I disagree with it 10,000,
Oh, that's okay. You can
10,000.
disagree with me.
no. There's a thing again, Karaba. This is what I'm trying to say. The wait. It's not. Look. It's not because the things are not happening because there's a wait and see shit. All that, right? Things are only happening because people are actually buying into the ideas. For example, if if people would be really, if people would be really so against these ideas, like you mentioned, boxes and DLCs. Well, loot boxes are not that common anymore because people actually showed they were against the idea. So see, that's good. But DLC, however, is the highest money maker of game companies right now. Like I said, if you saw the last shown number about what makes the most money for game companies in the game industry, it's DLCs. And the fact that that's there, it's not because that you didn't speak up when it was a wait and see approach. The reason that why it's there is because it's working, because it's making money. These businesses only have one goal and one goal only. Don't give a fuck about righteousness or any of that shit. They need their business to thrive, and that's what you do when you have a business.
I think
Sadly.
NFTs are a good example of how something has value to what people give it, if that makes sense. Like, if no one gave a shit about NFTs, it would die. But apparently people want to give it value, so therefore it has value.
Okay, maybe people are just wary, especially how we have got fucked over with microtransaction and loot boxes and everything like that. And now companies literally promising we're not gonna put microtransaction and loot boxes only to uh, not put them, but when what's called the reviews are done, then they put them. A la Call of Duty, you name it, it happened. So people don't trust companies now on their words. People don't trust companies in general now. That's basically
Okay,
what
let me.
it is. Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
it's true. People don't trust companies with their mouth, but they still give the money, right? It's kind of it's kind of like this kind of like what I've been saying, right? And I told this so many people. Like it's so simple, humans and corporations and us. You know, we need these corporations deep down because we want their product, and they need us because they need our money. And apparently, as long as we get our products, they can keep on finding ways to exploit people as long as they have this illusion of convenience in, getting the worth of their money, something like that, right? That's why I kept telling people, and I kept telling so many times, and there's so many people that went against me when I said this, that there's no such thing as consumer friendly. It's just an illusion of companies trying to get more money out of you in a way that looks convenient to you. And that's basically how companies work. And a lot of people overlook that so hard. Like Microsoft is so consumer friendly, right? Not knowing that they just want more money out of them. That's why they want to appear consumer friendly. It's kind of like company 101. When you give a sale, when you're a supermarket and you give a sale, that means that you're going to get more money out of it. That's why you're giving the sale. They're not going to give you the sale because, they're going to get less money out of it. That's not how it works.
Nope.
That's not how it works. No company does that shit. I can't really believe people think the company does that. That's why I said I question them. That's why I am so curious about the method of Game Pass with the $1 shit. Because I cannot believe they'd be doing that for no profit. There's gotta be something. There has to be something that they're gonna get out of that.
They're doing it for growth. That's it.
Yeah, see? It's manipulation. It's an illusion. Like, you get too comfortable in the illusion, and that's when they get you.
Exactly.
And that's how DLCs made the most money. That's how DLCs made the most money. I'm so awake.
DLC, but I never bought DLC for equipment or whatsoever.
Like I'm so awake to this shit because I also run a business, and I know what it takes. Like, dude, I'm not, dude. When I run my business, I'm not a nice guy, man. Like, I buy, like, for example, I buy a shirt for $10, I sell it to somebody else for $50, and it works.
It's called business 101. Profit is the key.
Fucking works, Like, and what I do as well is, for example, I show this person, you know what? Look at this. The same shirt is here for 100. With me, it's only 50. But in reality, I bought the shirt for 10. See what I mean? It's an illusion. I gave him an illusion that he's gonna get more if he bought it from me, but in reality, I'm getting more money. That's basically what every company is doing. And anybody who doesn't know that doesn't run a business. It's so easy.
Exactly. I'll give you a better example. Game Pass is $100 and what? How many dollars? Let's say you use Game Pass for one game, or you use game for 10 games, right? How much more money have you spent instead of buying that one box game one time? You don't pay for the game 5 or 6. It's like Rent-A-Center. If you rent a television instead of going to the store and buy one, the TV may cost you $600 if you go to the store and buy it. I'm just saying something cheap. You go to Rent-A-Center, you're going to pay $89 every month. You don't pay for that TV 10, 11 times over. That's the point. It's always about money. Just because you're not paying it up front, it's better to pay something up front than paying it later down the line. You're going to pay more.
Sorry.
I agree. I would rather own, the games rather than just rent them. That's why I don't even have Vista now.
Yeah, that's why I don't use none of that either. Go ahead.
No, I don't use.
What's his name? Stage talk. You have not said about
what's Stage? He's just listening when he's like that. Stage?
Stage, are you asleep?
Yo, bro.
Okay. Blue?
But yeah, no, again. Yeah.
Stage is busy with bitches right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Blue?
Yeah, but you weep.
Sorry?
Got
What's the
anything
question?
to say?
You have anything to say about businesses and illusions and shit?
I think we've beaten this horse enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it always gets beaten to death. Like every time something happens,
This
right?
one, but to be honest, this was never meant to be about NFT. This was
No,
going
no,
to
no.
be about how did we start
All right,
gaming, our favorite
we can talk about that too.
game. No,
Talk
no, no,
about
no.
that too.
Game moment and our excitement for the next gen. Not next gen. For this year games. So I'm
Okay, so
gonna
I'm gonna start there actually. Yeah, I'm gonna start
now
there. All
I'm
right.
gonna start with Kay.
Okay.
Go ahead,
All right.
Kay. How did you start gaming? And yeah, we'll go then to the next person. Also, oh yeah,
Started,
yeah.
how did
Go
I
ahead.
start gaming?
Yeah, how?
Um, um, I would say I started gaming the original PlayStation.
That's your first.
With like, I mean, I played some games on PC before PlayStation, but I didn't really start gaming until the original PlayStation.
So you never
like
played on what's called Nintendo and Sega?
With Nintendo, I did Nintendo 64, but you know, I grew up poor, so I was lucky that I got an original PlayStation, and I played like Spyro, Resident Evil, Medal of Honor, Ape Escape, the Tony Hawk games. That's where I started.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the very first game you played? Do you remember? Or remember playing, or seeing, or watching?
I don't remember the first PlayStation game I played. I remember playing the hell out of like Pizza Hut demo discs.
Okay. What's your favorite gaming moment that you recall?
My favorite gaming moment has to be when I was doing a Mario Kart 64 tournament with my stepbrothers, and one of my stepbrothers, Tommy, he was playing Yoshi, and he did a banana move on my older stepbrother Bobby, and caused him to lose. And then Bobby proceeded to choke out Tommy, like literally choke him out. That's my favorite moment.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I should have known. I should have known. Oh my god! Okay, we're gonna move to the next person. Weeb, how did you start gaming? A favorite
Oh,
moment?
you want to show people how old I am? I started gaming, I think, on my dad's Commodore 64. I think the first game was something with llamas and shooting spiders. And after that, yeah, we got a PC and bought my NES, and that's how I started gaming.
Llama inspired?
Yeah, it's something called Metagalactic Llamas from Outer Space or something.
I mean, who doesn't like llamas and spiders?
Exactly.
Like shooting spiders.
Exactly.
The only llama I know is Cusco, the cartoon. The Emperor's New Groove, I believe, is what it's called. It's kind of like the only llama I know.
Oh, you're way too young, Akira.
Sorry.
What's that?
Man, I mispressed it. Sorry. No, I mispressed it. No, that was me. I every morning here, because it's too warm, I wear a headband because of the long hair. I'm not gonna show that to anyone.
We want to see you for who you are. We want to see the pure Akira in the mornings. That's
Nah.
what we want.
No, I'm not.
What
Next
time
time,
is it for
next
you,
time.
Akira, by the way?
It's 9. Well, it's almost 10 technically. 9:44 a.m. It's 9:44.
Oh, in the morning,
You can
okay.
see my puppy. That's all you're gonna get.
Are you in Japan right now?
Yeah,
Puppy.
yeah, but
Show
I'm
me the
flying
puppy.
back. But I'm flying back to Philippines
Oh,
because
okay.
I fly back and forth. But after Alaska, wait 1 sec.
So we were with whose name?
You see a puppy?
He's so cute. I
There's
love
the other
him.
one. There's the other one.
So
I want
continue with what's your favorite game moment?
My favorite game moment.
Oh,
Well, if
The husky.
if I have to
oh.
talk about experience, I guess.
just
Got
in
a
general.
lot of dogs. Got a lot of dogs, brother. Wow.
Yeah, I got one more.
The podcast
Puppy.
went sideways.
Sleeping though.
Sorry, Weeb. What's your favorite game moment?
Sorry, we.
Yeah, it depends on what you mean. You mean like an experience with playing with other people, or just like within a game?
In general, what do you call? Well, if you remember about gaming, what do you remember that you think? Oh yeah, that make you think nostalgia and happiness, and you're like, oh yeah, the good old days.
Well, I do remember playing GoldenEye on my N64 with my cousins, and I used to play with they teamed up against me, so it was 3 against 1, and I still beat their asses, and they were always complaining about, you're cheating, you're looking at our screen, at split screen, like motherfucker. I'm playing, I'm controlling my character, and I'm looking at your screen. That's even more impressive. But I played those maps so much that I could just tell one look at the screen where they were. I didn't need a radar or nothing. I knew where they were. So yeah, I trashed them. So that was the time when I had the reflexes to beat their asses.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a proudest gaming achievement.
Morgana, when did you start gaming? What's your favorite moment?
Okay.
Tell us
My first console was Nintendo 64. My first game that I played was Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
You said my favorite gaming moment was the next question, right?
Yeah.
It was probably,
Or just a few in general. Would you
okay.
remember think, oh yeah, these good old days?
Yeah, it was probably playing with my siblings and my neighbor. This old game. Well, I guess not really that old, but it was on GameCube. It was called like Army Surge or something like that. It was like the toy soldiers game, and we would play that.
Oh, the
literally.
green one?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we would like co-op multiplayer that game like all night, trying to make sure that we weren't cheating, like, yelling at each other, like, like you looked at my screen, no you didn't, yes I did, like just trying to like kill each other all. Like I remember like we would have like full 24-hour sessions sometimes just playing that game. But yeah, it's a very fond memory I have
No
back in the
parents
day. I miss the
say go
GameCube.
to sleep?
Hmm?
No parents?
Oh yeah, I mean they tried. We pretended like we would turn the TV off. Like we wouldn't turn the GameCube off. And then, right when they went to bed, we turned the TV back on and keep playing. We'd have to be quiet, but you know. But yeah, that's probably my favorite gaming moment.
Okay. Okay. Oh no. We've been okay. Stage, you here? Nope. I'm pretty sure he's AFK forever. I'm gonna go Tehran and then myself.
All right. From the first gaming console I ever played, it was called a ColecoVision. It was really old. My grandfather had it, and this is like the mid '80s. And the first game I ever played was called Mousetrap, and it was basically a knockoff of Pac-Man. Really old game. The game that really made me a hardcore gamer and my favorite PlayStation. And when the zombie was eating the guy in the very first area of the game, when you through the door and you go around the corner and the zombie turns his head around, and that is like my favorite gaming moment to today because I didn't think a game could actually scare you, and it actually scared me. So yeah, I think that was my favorite gaming moment. That's me.
Okay, you guys got one? Interesting. Okay, so I'm next. It's fascinating. By the way, people, you can have more than one game moment. Like, it doesn't need to
Oh
be
well,
one.
well I thought
So,
Now,
another
now he
person
tells
did.
us.
Yeah,
I said
now.
moment. Okay, I could have clarified. Moments
Okay,
where you look back at,
okay,
oh yeah, the good old days. So
okay. Well, I'll
everyone
give you
gonna go back. Go ahead, Teran. Moment.
I real quickly. Then, okay, my second favorite gaming moment is when Sniper Wolf shot Meryl. When she was laying there on the ground and all the blood was out, and it had this great orchestra music with the people singing in the background. Very moving moment. Motion is a big thing to me in gaming. I got to care about the character, so that was another. And the other one, of course, I'm a Final Fantasy VII nut. The first time I seen the magazine cover, this is not even when I played the game. When I seen the magazine cover and they showed that commercial like 8 months before the game came out, it's like the thing I can remember to this day is seeing those commercials for Final Fantasy VII. And when I finally played the game, it even blew my expectations of what a game could possibly be. Because I mean, if you think about it, those old school Japanese RPGs were technically the first open world games we ever played. Because you go to this town, you go all the way across this map. Even though it was still linear, it was still a big open world you could play around in. So yeah, those are I would say my three, four favorite gaming moments I've ever had.
Okay, Morgana.
Yes. What was the question?
Okay, thank you very much. Good. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, what was the question?
The
What was my
question
favorite
is
gaming moment?
favorite game moment, bro.
He wants to hear more if you
Wait a
have
minute, I
any.
gave you my favorite gaming moment. What we doing
I
it again?
said if you have more, you're
Oh.
not relegated to just one. Just to clarify.
Her favorite gaming moment is when playing It Takes Two and we're saying dirty jokes.
Yeah, that is. I'll second that.
I think her favorite moment is when Nate fell asleep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
No, that's
See?
just frustrating. That's just
You know,
frustrating.
his snoring is very
Or when he's
Oh,
just
shit.
running into a stair and not jumping over it. He's just running into it.
Yeah, that too. You know, when we're playing platformers, he's very enthusiastic, but it's fine.
I really miss doing okay, favorite game moments.
Favorite game moment is watching a stepbrother choke out another stepbrother because they beat them in Mario 64.
I give
Oh, wow.
I give up with you. Akira, got any? Help.
Akira's
Thank you.
gone.
Arigato gozaimasu. Blue.
I do remember.
Dude, you didn't hear me? What the hell? I was talking, man. You didn't hear me?
No one
No,
had it.
Sorry. Oh shit, I was on mute, sorry.
Let Akira because he doesn't talk enough.
No, basically what I say is I started with PlayStation 1, obviously. I owned every PlayStation console and Nintendo as well. I caught up the NES and the SNES. It's basically the oldest consoles I had. I also had a GameCube before. That's it. And then portable Nintendo. You know where I live, so PlayStation, Nintendo mostly. And favorite game? Oh no, what game I started with? Well,
Game
I said it
moment.
so many times. Oh, game moment.
Yeah,
Man, like
more than one.
you want me? Oh, more than one. Good. Like I thought you wanted to choose one. Like jeez. So yeah. One of my favorite game moments, of course. Uh, in Legend of Dragoon, it's one of my first favorite game moment. Is Dart becoming a Dragoon for the first time. It's kind of like the same level of Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time. It's kind of like how impactful that moment was for me. Second favorite moment is of course Psycho fucking Mantis. Nobody forgets that dude. Like anybody who played Metal Gear Solid is not gonna forget who Psycho Mantis is. Psycho Man is just a blueprint. Like
I never
he's just
played that game, and I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So yeah, Psycho Man's the second in what?
Now, Omar hasn't played Metal Gear.
Hello.
No, I never played many games.
Omar.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Oh my
genuinely-
god.
Oh
my God.
What? It's not a secret.
Alright, no.
I said it multiple
It's all good.
again. I
It's all
played
good.
the demo. I played the demo of the first game, but I never got to play the actual game. I just never got to
Yep.
play it.
There are emulators, man. Try it out. No, all right. And my third favorite game moment. We're always gonna, my favorite game moments are of course in the PS1 because they're the most memorable ones. Is of course the first zombie encounter from Resident Evil 1. That shit
Mine.
until today, and until today, like I still remember that. Like it's just so good, and
Scared the hell out of you, didn't it? Scared you, didn't it?
Yeah, of course, bro. Dude, who would not be scared to see that for the first time? Like, you have no experience with zombies before. Like if that was your first console, right? If your first console, you have no experiences with zombies before. You didn't see any zombie movie before, and that was your first encounter with zombies. Of course, it would scare the hell out of you. Like it's so unknown, and at that time. But yeah, what was the third question, Omar? Sorry.
Just in
What's the third
general,
question?
Game moment. It's fascinating.
That's it? Game moments?
You're gonna get exposed right
Your
now.
first
after
game.
that. After
Oh
that,
my
you're
God.
gonna get exposed right now.
My microphone was up.
So,
I
here's
I
the
was
thing.
talking the whole time. Oh my
Yo,
god.
Game
the
moment
mic was
for me.
unplugged, brother.
Game moment for me. Okay, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. My microphone was up. That's why you guys couldn't hear me. I thought.
Good morning.
God.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead. Your favorite game moments and how did you start gaming?
Okay, my favorite gaming moment. How did I start gaming? I'll start there.
Moment, bro.
Okay, moment. Okay. So, okay, there was one where, okay, I grew up with a very competitive group of friends, right? And we used to play games like, WWE SmackDown and Tekken and all that stuff. But like, I kind of kept my,
shit.
my ability to play like, kind of concealed because I just wanted to have fun, Like we played games like WWE, SmackDown, and stuff like that. I just played for the fun of it. I wasn't a very competitive person, but when you grow up around competitive people, eventually, it kind of rubs off on you due to some sort of survival need. I have a necessity to pay attention to people's behavior. So, eventually, I paid enough attention to their behavior that I started to realize that it was a necessity to beat them in certain games. Actually need to beat them. Because eventually it changed your how you say your perception. Like for me it didn't really matter, and I used to lose a lot of my matches just because I used to do the most outrageous things and just to see what would happen, how people would react. So eventually I started taking the game seriously and trying to win, and eventually I saw how their perception of me changed, and I was like, oh, okay, so that completely changed my world about how these games work, because they were pretty straightforward about how they functioned. They had a tag team called the Ego Trip, and I would always play outside of them. But like once I started winning, they'd start letting me play with them like a little bit more, in groups and stuff like that. But they were pretty self-aware. So I mean, eventually, like I started to come into my own after that point. But it was a good educational experience.
Okay. For me.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah,
No.
and gaming
Me first,
moment.
because-
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, dude, you interrupted me before, so I
Yeah,
want to
sorry, go
finish my
ahead.
sentence.
Mm.
No, I was one moment that stuck in my mind was Eternal Darkness on the GameCube, because it had these called sanity effects. So every time you saw a monster or got damaged, your sanity dropped, and uh, when it got too low, you started hallucinating things. So some were like in game, like you suddenly saw like the entire screen filled with enemies that weren't there, and some were like fourth wall breaking. And there was one in particular that really got me. Uh, it started deleting my save files, and it was screaming at my screen like motherfucker, because it then rebooted to the start screen. So I was afraid I lost everything, but it was just like a fourth wall breaking sanity effect. So the game was just messing with you because it just then jumped back into the game. But that was really the moment where, okay, you got me. So that was the first time a game really managed to pull the wool over my eyes. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, that was one of my let's say favorite in-game moments.
Okay. For me, my favorite. Well, I started gaming a game called what's called it's called Boulder Dash. I don't know if
Ah,
anyone heard of that game.
yes, I have.
Mhm.
Okay, so that game was originally on. I just googled it. I just talked with what's his name, OT. So Boulder Dash was on the Commodore 64, I think. Either that or the Omega. I played it on either. My uncle gave my father. It was almost like a computer-ish with very large not disk, like cartridges. That's what I played. I remember my parents being very competitive with that game, and
Mhm.
then they went from that to Dr. Mario and the original Mario. Like, I grew up with that. I grew up with me against my brother. So we had kind of like GameFly. We would go every week or every 2 weeks and borrow one game. One time I borrowed one game, and the other time my brother borrowed one game. And if we like that game, we borrow it a second week. If we don't, well, tough luck. We're stuck with that game for an entire week. Um, One of my favorite moments is watching my uncle play Resident Evil 1 and Final
Mhm.
Fantasy 7.
Oh man.
And again, as a kid, you're not gonna understand what he's doing, but all you need
Mhm.
to understand is you're hitting enemies, it's doing damage. My favorite moment is when Ares does magic attack because it what's called it visually appealing and stuff like that, and you're like nice, and then the music hits you and you're like nice, you're doing great stuff. And when you find out later that my uncle and my other uncle and my other uncle, they would literally have need to open the fucking dictionary just so they can solve a puzzle in Resident Evil 1. Like, that game is hard, no joke. That takes some dedication. When it comes to my experience with PlayStation 1, a few. Rayman 3. I love that game. I started with 1. Also, Twisted Metal. I started with that game as well. Also, Tekken 3. That's my jam. Which again, it makes me question your validity as a fighter fighter lover, Akira, when you never even mention fucking bloody roar. How dare you?
You said memorable moments, man. Like,
Yes,
Yeah, that's not the
would
favorite
that not
thing.
be a favorite moment? Come on, Akira. Maybe I'm
yeah.
maybe I'm
It's a
built
different
different.
category, yeah.
maybe I'm both different. Nah, real talk though.
That's a different category.
You didn't
Yeah.
play Metal Gear. I don't want to hear it.
What made Bloody Roar such a favorite moment for me is because I got to pulled off Yuriko ultimate move, and in order to do that you need to do a circle and then a half circle and then either a circle, I think. So it's my jam. Bloody Roar is my jam. Other game I remember playing for hours upon hours. I'm talking about 4 or 5 hours, just one match. Is Command and Conquer Red Alert 1 on the PlayStation 1.
Oh,
That actually I played. I played that.
Yeah.
That was,
And then
was great.
you know, when you put it on hardest difficulty and get 6 enemies and you go to town. My favorite is, as always, is what's called Soviet unit Russia because of their Tesla coin,
Tesla
And-
coils, man.
Yeah.
I want to say, by the way, I just want to ask: is Dealer Gaming a good insider?
Nope.
Because he's
Sorry?
talking about PlayStation right now. About PlayStation's in talks with Arc System Works to acquire them, or something like
Well,
that.
I'm the only insider. I got information about Nessie being in Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, and you were right.
Wait, Nessie,
Mm.
the monster. Or
The
what?
dinosaur. The dinosaur. The dinosaur.
Oh.
Nessie.
No,
I'm
it's a
so
PG
excited
story.
for Forbidden West.
Sorry,
You
I
know,
apologize to ask that
uh,
because I saw the Arc System Works thing.
So, according to Tidos, which again I don't believe him, state of play is scheduled for Forbidden West. Which I
Oh,
don't
that
believe.
actually I didn't listen to that at all. Like I didn't even listen to it because
When is the schedule for Omar?
early February. He said early February.
I don't
I
believe
swear
him.
they be throwing
I'll
dots
wait.
at the dartboard. They
I swear to
throwing
God,
dots.
man. Like, you know what? This is the only thing, right? About the Square Enix thing, right? If Yoshi P ended up leaving them because of this bullshit, oh my God! Like they made a colossal mistake if that happens. You know what I mean? I'm sure
What are you
Yoshi P
talking
would be
about?
so upset. I'm sure Yoshi P would be so upset about this because like in even FF14, Yoshi P avoids DLC, like paid DLC. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he kind of like want things earned in 14 or give.
Wait,
You get a gift.
14 have so many expansions, so
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it has expansions that are worth 2 games. You know what I mean? They're fucking big expansions, Karaba. They are big as hell. I'm telling you. I'm not even kidding with you. But no, I think Yoshi P would be upset about something like NFTs, like really, because he's already bringing the cash in. Right?
I don't think I got anyone to say about it.
No, yeah, he cannot get a say about it unless he just leaves. It's kind of like the only statement he can do.
I don't see him jeopardizing his
Yeah.
position and leaving. Out of
Yeah, no, I get,
fine.
I get that, but you also need to understand, man. Like Yoshi P is considered a legend in the game industry now. If he would leave, there's going to be a lot of companies who want to have
I
him.
never
telling
heard of him. How is he a legend? Is he a newcomer or what? I
Oh
never heard
my!
of him.
Did you just? Did you
Yes,
just?
I'm genuinely asking.
Did you seriously just call Yoshi P a newcomer? All right, all right. You know what? Since you said you didn't know, all right, I'm gonna introduce to you that.
I never
I'm
heard
a-
of
no.
I never have. Before FF14, I never heard of him, so that's why I'm
No, no,
curious.
it's all good. It's all right. I will tell you who the great Yoshi P is. He's,
Who is he?
there's no other way to call him. So Yoshi P, right?
He is the next great man of Square Enix that will release Final Fantasy. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, all right. So Yoshi P. So yeah, that's also true. He is basically the guy who's managing both Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 16. He's managing his very talented team, which is the Creative Business Unit 3 or 5. So this is the thing, man. Yoshi P has been with Square Enix for a long time now. The only thing is, yes, his first actual breakthrough was Final Fantasy 14. However, he has been working with Square Enix for a while now. He's been supporting a lot of the games, and probably games that you played before as well. And now the thing with Yoshi P is that he finally got the brains to lead something, right? And the surprising thing about that was that he was leading basically a game that was launched as a disaster. So as you know about the 14 story, 14 was launched and it was a fucking disaster. I thought the game was gonna die after a year, and then it was given to Yoshi P and Creative Business Unit 3. Basically, they saved that and they made it to a grand success because Yoshi P, he is basically Square Enix most hardworking employee, and I'm gonna tell you this like that because even the people on his team, despite of him being the boss, is inspired by him because he works hard more than them combined. This man, with every game that he worked with, he always play tested this personally by himself. Like even if there's QA already, he still play tests everything. Like he's like the final, quality analysis of his games. And because of that, knowing that knowledge, if you watch the Final Fantasy 14 documentary, he is one of the most well-respected developers of Square Enix and in Japan and possibly in the world from the Final Fantasy 14 fan base.
Okay, 1 second. Put Final
I'm not
Fantasy
done yet.
14 aside.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
What a care of my goodness.
The Final Fantasy father himself, Hironobu Sakaguchi, basically did a passing of torch, who said that when he played Final Fantasy 14, it is the Final Fantasy for all Final Fantasy fans. It's one of the best experiences he has, and with Yoshi P at the helm for the future of Final Fantasy, it looks like it's a very bright future. That is Yoshi P. Again, if Sakaguchi mentions your name like that, you will be known worldwide because you know Sakaguchi, right?
Yeah, he's the
you know
father of
Sakaguchi,
Final
right?
Fantasy, yeah.
No, I mean I'm talking Rob. I mean he should know him at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Now, if you wanna, all right, if you wanna talk, all right, if you wanna ask about, the previous works from Yoshi P. So before, he worked on games some like, Dragon Quest X. He worked on some Final Fantasies before. One of the most notable ones is 9 and 10, as well. And again, he has been there, from the very beginning of Square Enix. The only thing is that 14 was his first big game that he was going to lead, and again, he was kind of like given the mission to save a sinking ship. Which
so
he
was
did
not
with flying
part of
colors.
the original 14.
No, he was not. He was not.
Mm-hmm.
He basically rescued 14. Without him, 14 would have died 11 years ago.
So can you, as someone that never I played 14, but just the trial version, can you explain to me how he revived 14? I'm curious.
Okay. So this is the thing, man. One of the main reasons why Yoshi P was chosen to lead 14 is because one of Yoshi P's favorite, genres of games to play is MMORPGs. He played a ton of them. He's a huge fan of World of Warcraft. He played Ultima Online. He played EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, Warhammer Online, Rift, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Guild Wars 2. He is basically a huge stan of MMORPGs. He has tons of experiences with these kind of games, right? So I think it was also one of the reasons why Square Enix thought that maybe he can save this game. That's why it was given to him. And it was a uphill battle at first because they needed to figure out what exactly they can change, because when 14 was released, the side quests were a fucking slug. There was tons of bugs. The loading times is atrocious. There's a lot of lag as well. The story was not also that good. It was not feeling like a Final Fantasy game at all. It was just like a World of Warcraft ripoff. That's what it felt like when Final Fantasy 14 first came. And that would rub a lot of fans, especially World of Warcraft fans, rub off the wrong way, because World of Warcraft is the king of MMORPGs before, and Yoshi P basically thought of the way to do it is, first thing you notice is that this is not like a Final Fantasy game, because even if it's an MMO, it still needs to feel like a Final Fantasy game. So the first thing that he did is basically, you need to switch the formula back to Final Fantasy, which is after Realm Reborn. That's the next expansion, Heavensward, and that's why when people are gonna recommend 14 to you, they're always gonna tell you need to play fast through Realm Reborn. You don't need to play that shit. You just need to go straight to Heavensward, because that's when shit goes good. Then it just goes better. It just gets better and better and better and better from there. And then it's kind of like what Yoshi P did. He overhauled the side quests to be more Final Fantasy, be more interesting, to have more great story. Well, the writers are amazing. The music was also overhauled with Soken as his basically right-hand man in music. Is a talented dude. I think Uematsu also helped out, at first. And then so slowly they slowly turned this thing into Final Fantasy, slowly but surely. And again, the more expansions that happen, Yoshi P listens to feedback intently, because he always does fan festivals. He talks to fans a lot. He does a lot of this live streams. He talks to his fans a lot. He tries to talk about experiences, criticisms, whatever they want, what they want to wish for next time. And basically he implements a lot of those. It's a lot of community engagement, which is why 14 has one of the best communities, because he's so in touch with his community, and he encourages his community to be in touch with each other. And that's basically, for him, is like the essence of Final Fantasy. Because again, whatever Final Fantasy game you play, once you play 14, you're gonna feel or see that Final Fantasy in that game. And that's how Yoshi P basically made the biggest money maker for Square Enix from a disaster. And knowing, again, if you are able to do that, Final Fantasy 14 right now is the first game that needed to be that any company needed to stop selling because it's too successful, because there's too many players. They didn't expect that from 24 million they're going to go up to 30 million.
That was wild.
And they need to, work on the servers. Plus, after that, they also need to work on 16, which, again, I'm fucking excited for. But, yeah, so Yoshi P is now really considered a legend in the game industry. 14 fans is a ton of people in the gaming community. And, yeah, in whole Japan, everybody knows that man. Everybody loves that man. And everybody who knows him loves him. And again, if ever he would leave Square Enix, there's going to be a lot of company flocking to get him, if he wants to continue making games, basically. And again, he's very hardworking. The most notable thing about Yoshi P is very hardworking, because 14 has tons of side quests. I'm telling you right now, I don't even know how many, but I'm sure it surpasses the thousands, or maybe 2,000, when you combine all expansions and the main game. And Yoshi P playtested every single quest himself before he even releases an expansion or a game or this or that or a raid. He playtested himself personally before he lets it go. And that's kind of like what he's gonna do with 16, because in his delay message for 16, he said something like he wouldn't need to check the quality assurance. That's basically himself. He needs to play the game as well, and to test every side quest as well, to make sure that it's ready for launch on whatever release date he has thought of for the game. That's Yoshi P. He's one of the best people. He's one of the best people in the game industry right now. Sorry, go ahead.
May I ask real quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kay.
So, like, the last Final Fantasy game I played was, like, a demo back in the 90s. What would you suggest a good Final Fantasy to start out with?
To be honest with you right now, for newcomers, I would always point them out to the remake for now.
Yeah,
because
question.
This
Before
is the...
Okay, 1 second.
This is... sorry.
Hey, did you pick up the Final Fantasy VII remake that they gave away for free, or no?
I mean, I got it in the Plus collection, but, you know, like I said, like, I played the demo, like, back in the 90s. I can't remember which one it was.
No, I am asking, did you get it with PlayStation Plus or no?
I got the PS Plus collection. I haven't started it yet, but I was wondering, like, which one would be a really good one.
Okay.
So this is the thing.
She has it in PS Plus.
I think he's saying when they put it on PS
No, she has it.
She has it.
So this is the one.
It's in the PS Plus collection on PS5?
Yes,
No,
if you have the PS4 one for free, you can upgrade for free as well with PS
That's what
Plus.
I'm trying to ask her. If she got the PlayStation 4 one, but she doesn't seem to have.
No, she has
so this is the thing. And this is the thing. When it comes to Final Fantasy, right? Like people or newcomers who wants to jump in, and I always tell people the main issue with Final Fantasy is that they're an anthology. They're not really connected to each other. You know, every Final Fantasy is a new Final Fantasy with new game mechanics and with brand new characters. So technically, you can start with any Final Fantasy you want. Now it will depend on your preference of gameplay. For example, you want more turn-based, you're going to try out the older ones. You know, from 1 to 10. If you want to, go more on the action route now, and for me, the best action JRPG right now with the hybrid action is 7 Remake. I think it's really perfectly done, and I think you may not have the nostalgia, let's just say it like that, but you will have the advantage that you are basically witnessing the complete vision of the developers for your first time. Is what I'm trying to say.
Question: would it not be?
I like turn-based, so.
Oh, if you like turn-based, then actually the first there are 2 Final Fantasies I would recommend first because they are the most beloved one, which is either 7 or 10. Those are the 2 I would recommend first, or 6 actually.
10 over
6, 7, or 10.
10 over 6, like for me,
6, 7, or 10. 6, 7, or 10.
Yeah,
I would recommend 8.
6 and 7. Yeah.
I would recommend 8, but 8's my favorite and it's the least loved Final Fantasy in the fan base. So I'm not gonna do that.
Absolutely, I don't recommend 8 because especially how the enemies level up with you, you're gonna get stuck at some point.
It's my favorite, but a lot of people hate it. So I would just be diplomatic and recommend 6, 7. I recommend
you, 6, 7, then 9, then 10, and then play
through. Oh yeah, also 9, yeah. 9 is also good.
Also play
9 is
through
great.
12 or 10x too, which I hate, but if you want the complete story, you can play X2, and then go straight to 12, and then all the way to,
but again, if it's turn-based, 6, 7, 9, 10. If you want some action, then jump to 7 Remake. It's the best time to jump in or be a Final Fantasy fan.
But I want to ask you about that. Do you genuinely recommend her to play 7 Remake when she never played 7?
Yeah, I would recommend it, to be honest, because this is the thing, man.
Despite the fact Remake is a prequel to a sequel to 7?
Not exactly. It's like this, man. Like, it's kind of like what happened in the original happened in the game, but it's still a different direction that they're taking this. And again, I reread and rewatched this interview from Kitase and Nomura so many times because I'm trying to understand what exactly they were saying, because they said something like, back in the day, they need to cut some shit because their ideas were too ahead of its time for, the time of the hardware that they have, right? So they cannot completely do everything that they want to do. And then now with the hardware being, can support their ideas, this is basically their complete vision. 7 Remake is their complete vision, apparently. And
Okay.
And
now,
they're talking about constantly expanding the story.
yeah, constantly, yeah, exactly. The last 5 minutes interview from Kitase also mentioned that the FF7 will be expanding by 2022 way more. I don't know what exactly that means, but Kay will still have the chance to play through it. It depends on how they're gonna do this, but Ever Crisis is coming next year as well, and it's kind of like the Fateful remake of the first game, plus Crisis Core, plus Before Crisis, plus Dirge of Cerberus, plus Advent Children. Basically all of Final Fantasy in one package. So I'm wondering if that's such a faithful remake, maybe newcomers can jump into that as well. Because I don't know, like if some gamers can really get turned off by old graphics, it's just kind of true. That's why I'm always hesitant sometimes to recommend an old game to people. Because I don't know what how much they like looking at good graphics. Because it can affect some people,
Like I still go back and play the original Resident Evil.
Yeah. All right. Then if you're not bothered, then I would actually tell you to start with 7 original before you play remake. But again, if you also don't want to do that, you can jump in remake, and it's also not going to be bad, and you can also wait for Ever Crisis, because I'm also going to replay Ever Crisis anyway. But it's gonna be it's an expanding universe. You see, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Be a Final Fantasy fan. You don't need to play all of them. You don't need to play all of them.
No,
You can just play. You can just play a Final Fantasy that you think looks good, or you find interesting story wise. You could check some synopsis. You could check some characters, and you just just find what you like. That's the beauty about Final Fantasy. Like people just find what they're like. And Final Fantasy they never stay with the same fan base, if I can say it like that. They kind of like always try to find newcomers, because even 7 remake itself was so divisive. There are some old fans who are not part of the fan base anymore, but they got way more new people into it. And that's kind of like this kind of like how Final Fantasy always is. There's something for everyone. And either you're going to be loyal to that fan base, or you're going to be loyal to multiple fan base. I'm, despite of me playing every Final Fantasy, I still have my favorites. Like I said, I love 8, 7, 10, 6. 9 is good. 15 is love and hate relationship. 14 is amazing, but it's a commitment. 12 is also great. 11 is... depends on you.
Bad.
1 to 5 depends on you too, because it's very old. I don't know if you would still like those, to be honest. Final Fantasy Tactics might be for you. It's still a great one. World of Final Fantasy, the chibi ones. Might be something for you. So again, there's something for everyone. Final Fantasy is such a broad franchise. It's the biggest franchise in the world. I'm not gonna get back. Biggest game franchise in the world. It's just the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, and the thing that he's talking about, the thing about Final Fantasy is that everyone has their favorite. For me personally, it's 7 until 7 Remake came out. That's how Final
7
Fantasy
is
was.
7 is a poster child of Final Fantasy. It's just the truth. Because
Change gaming.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 just did something incredible that other Final Fantasy games were not able to do. That's why until today it's the Final Fantasy that most Final Fantasy fans talk about or gush about, or and that's why it's the one that got a remake, and that's why it's also more successful than the original. And it's gonna be it's gonna remain successful until that sequel, or until the remake is completely complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna go to stage. Give me
Yes.
your 3 top games you're excited for this year and why?
I'll just keep it short. Let's see. I'll do God of War, Zelda, and I will do I'll say okay, God of Horizon. And then after that it's gonna be the no, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
No, go ahead if you want to say more.
Nah.
You can extrapolate.
Yeah. No
Okay.
need for that.
Weep.
Yeah, of course, Horizon, because it has different plots, right? God of War, Plague Tale 2, and if I can have a fourth one, the sequel to AI the Stumbling Files.
What's the last one?
AI the Stumbling Files.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know.
You know it, yeah. It's
Part
getting a
2,
sequel.
right?
Sorry?
Yeah, the sequel, right?
It's a sequel.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
the sequel.
Morgana.
God of War and Little Devil Inside.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Only 2?
Not too many people talk about that.
No third one?
I said 3. I
You
said
said
Horizon,
1.
God of War, and
Oh,
Little Devil Inside.
Horizon was cut off. Didn't hear it.
Oh.
Okay, gotcha. Tehran.
Horizon, God of War, of course, Forspoken. And I would even throw in one more, which is Elden Ring.
Okay.
Yeah, that was gonna be my fourth, but I decided to not say.
No, it's okay. That's why I said you wanna add more. Akira, top 5 or top 4, whatever you wanna say.
What is it? I wanna ask you guys, like, do you did you guys play a game before? It's like an MMORPG called Ragnarok. It's it's a very old MMORPG. It's normally playable on PC and now it's playable on mobile. It's from South Korea. It's called Ragnarok. Anyone ring a bell?
No,
It does
I heard
ring a
you
bell,
talk
yeah.
about it in
No,
States.
tell us
I'm sorry,
about
wait, what? Wait, say
It
we.
does ring a bell, yeah. I think they also adapted that in a manga or an anime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Manhwa?
they adapted it to
Yeah.
anime. They adapted it to anime. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, Ragnarok the animation. Yeah, it's no, because all these MMORPG talk, brings me to those times.
I
But
heard
despite
that anime is abysmal.
despite of me, despite me, let's say starting with PlayStation, I also had like an era where I played a lot of PC because like old school PC games, right? Like the Counter-Strike, the
I only played RTS games on PC. That's where you play Red Alert, Omar, not on console.
So Counter-Strike, the Quakes. Quake was the shit. Like Quake was the legend before the legend even existed, before Halo existed. Quake was the real deal, and Doom was already
Unreal Tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, Doom was also already there, and you also got if you want if you like strategies like Red Alert, Command and Conquer. Although there was a lot of Command and Conquer games on PC, there was a Battle Realms as well. It's a very old kind of Command and Conquer kind of game. There's so many, like Half-Life. The I think that was a Counter-Strike mod, no, or the other way around. Half-Life had a multiplayer before. It's a Counter-Strike mod, right?
Half-Life is not a mod. Half-Life was the original game.
The multiplayer itself. Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Half-Life was the first multiplayer one. The Counter-Strike was basically was born from that. Yeah, no, okay. So yeah, those moments, I had a long history as well with PC, because even the South Korea used to are making a lot of MMORPGs back in the day for Asia. But some honorable mentions is Eve Online, got Ren Online, and Cabal Online. There's so many of these. Audition is kind of like this dancing. It's like a dancing rhythm game, kind of like Dancing Guitar Hero. Basically, you have an avatar that dances in front of you, and you press button prompts. It's also on PC. You got O2 Jam, was basically keyboard hero for PC. Again, I had a long listen game. Max Payne, bro. Who will forget about Max Payne? You played Max Payne on PC before, right? The what? The first two Max Payne.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
You play on PC because it was first on PC for anything else.
I played it on PlayStation.
Yeah, but like before Max Payne, originally was just PC was its home. Yeah, it's so many.
Command and Conquer on PC.
And of course, we're not gonna forget World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was indeed an addicting time. It was expensive, but it was addicting. It was very addicting. Any of you played World of Warcraft before? Back in the day?
I played. My brother did.
He was addicted too?
My brother was addicted to Warcraft.
Yeah.
And then
it was impossible. It was impossible not to get addicted by World of Warcraft. It's kind of like what 14 does to me.
No. He was addicted to Warcraft. Then World of Warcraft.
Oh, wait. That was Warcraft was the kind of Command and Conquer kind of gameplay, right?
Yeah,
Warcraft, where you got yeah. I mean, Warcraft was kind of like you have this hero, but then you also have minions, kind of like they attack the other base, right? Kind of like Red Alert. Yeah, okay, Warcraft.
Well, it was a full-fledged RTS, but you have missions where you control the hero. But yeah, I think you're mainly thinking of.
Oh, Warcraft 3. Yeah. Warcraft 3, yeah. Warcraft 3 is what I'm thinking of. Warcraft 3 was the original League of Legends. It was the original League of Legends before League of Legends even exists. You can also think it's a mod because they're very similar.
League of the genre is based off mods of Warcraft 3. Same with Tower Defense. That also started out as mods of Warcraft 3.
Yeah, but I mean, Warcraft 3 was there, and then like Dota was the first one actually before League of Legends. It was Dota, and League of Legends and Dota 2 happened. Although Dota 2 didn't really.
Well, it started with the mods of Warcraft 3, and then they made a genre.
Yeah, I remember so many mods from Warcraft 3 because they even made anime-styled Warcraft 3 games, right? Where you can use Naruto and shit and others like Goku. Yeah, good times, man, good times. Because we're talking about game moments, right? I'm pretty sure any of us would have went through one of those at least.
No,
right? I don't know what's popular in other countries.
The topic was. You're already way gone from game moments. That's like 2 hours
but
ago.
I like my game moments, man.
Yeah, no, I'm just pretty confused. Like the topic now is game you're excited for.
No. All right, so game excited
but
for.
If you wanna continue
dude,
game moment, go ahead. Continue game moment.
I mean, before I went to the excited thing, right? Basically, really favorite game moments most of the time is just experiencing new stuff, right? Like not that just because it's a new game, it's new stuff. I'm talking about like you feel like you're in the next gen, something like that, right? Those moments, right? From the first time you saw again Resident Evil, and then you saw Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, or Metal Gear Solid 2 for the first time. Because Metal Gear Solid 2 for the first time was also like, it was like a jump in a different dimension, and then you start seeing more amazing looking games like Last of Us, and then PS4, fucking Horizon Zero Dawn. The first time I see Horizon Zero Dawn, I really thought I was watching a cutscene first time, and then it was gameplay. Yeah.
I need to ask you this: did you see that person comment or tweet. Sifu
Wait,
looks
where?
Sifu looks like
Oh, that dude.
Night Game Pass filler.
I actually had a reply there, but I deleted it because I promised that I won't fight anymore, even though I was joking. You know, his whole existence is a Game Pass filler. Just saying, but I'm, I'm, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to fight anymore. You know, like he can try. He can try to play Sifu in Game Pass if he can. That's the question. If he can, like, I'm gonna post my screenshot on February 8th, asking if you could play this on Game Pass. This is what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna delete it so that so that nobody can pay back if ever it goes to Game Pass, right? I'm petty. No. Sifu definitely most excited for, because it's been a long time since I got a decent beat 'em up aside from Lost Judgment. Although no, the style of Sifu is different from something like Lost Judgment, because Sifu is more that old school beat 'em up like Jackie Chan Stuntmaster and Jet Li Rise to Honor or Sleeping Dogs that I'm looking for. Where Lost Judgment is kind of like it's like a genre of its own with the Yakuza games. And by the way, you saw it, right? Lost Judgment got 76% more sales than the first Judgment. 76%.
Right.
We might get a third game after all. My God, there's actually hope. There's actually hope.
Yeah? Hope?
There's a hope, yeah. There's actually hope, man. 76% is big, alright? 76% sales increase from the first Judgment is big, because the first Judgment reached over 1 million, right? There was a celebration about that. Reached over 1 million, so 76% higher, and it's just it's been like 6 months, no, 4 or 5 months, no, 5 months. Sorry, 5 months, yeah. And that's actually a big deal for RGG. RGG is not very popular, even as people think they are. But they're not really that popular yet. And they're even snubbed for Game of the Year. But yeah, Sifu definitely, like I said, Horizon, Elden Ring. I hope one of them get fucking delayed, man. Like, it's just ridiculous. I cannot do 2 open worlds in the span of 1 week. There's just no way. Like, I would need to choose first. Either it's Horizon, Elden Ring, and it's really hard. I like Horizon so much because I like the first game, but I also love Souls games, so Elden Ring is very enticing. But I might go for Horizon.
Forbidden West is gonna be insane.
I might go for Horizon, and I'm gonna get Stranger Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. I'm gonna get Forspoken, and I'm gonna get a ton of games 2022. Get Bayonetta 3 and Breath of the Wild 2. So many games, my wild's already crying. Yeah. But yeah, it's your turn, guys.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Forbidden West. Wow. Forspoken, super excited for that one. And what's called FF16. And honorable mention would be God of War, Ragnarok. Mostly because it's gonna be a case of being there, done that. Like, I want something new. Which is why I am excited what they're doing with Forbidden West. Actual overhaul of the game. Can't wait for that. And I'm pretty sure gonna love God of War Ragnarok. It's just I'm waiting on
Damn, they overhauled it in 2018. You want them to overhaul it again?
Sorry?
I said they overhauled it in 2018. You want them to overhaul it again?
I should think about that.
What happened?
Lucy, help me. Help me. She's bullying me. Help me.
I would just say.
With that being said, I'm actually gonna leave it at here because no topic unless someone else have something else to say?
Hmm. Well, we can talk
Actually,
about.
Turns
we
out
talk
we
about something else, right? We talk about something else, right? I wanna ask something. Like, I wanna ask
Oh,
something.
well, I was going to talk about Final Fantasy 16's delay. I wanted to.
Yeah, no, we can
Is
also
that,
talk about. I just want to ask a small question, guys, because I've been noticing a lot of people been discovering the wonderful South Korean cinema, right? The amazing South Korean cinema. People have been discovering. I saw Sumo fucking binge watching like 3 Korean shows, and you know, it seems like he's
Oh,
hooked,
yeah, he's
right?
doing it.
And I wanna hook some of you guys as well because I'm telling you, it's South Koreans are amazing. They're more amazing than Hollywood can ever wanna wish to be.
Facts.
Way ahead of you. I've been watching Korean movies for decades.
that's a bold statement, but I watch a lot of Korean movies.
Oh, wait, you've been watching Korean movies for decades? That's cool, man. I mean, I'm the same. I've been every day. My wife and I watch Korean movies or TV shows every day, man. Like we don't miss a day to watch. And
I still
and
have DVDs with Korean movies.
yeah, dude, like again, man, like I'm still surprised. There's still some people who didn't watch Train to Busan. Arguably the best,
Oh
one
my
of the
god,
best
that
zombie
movie is
movies,
amazing.
one of the best zombie movies right now in the
Facts.
world. I think the only thing that I would maybe count a second there would be maybe World War Z or Shaun of the Dead. And I'm serious about that, by the way. I love Shaun of the Dead. All right, I don't allow Cornetto trilogy slander here.
Hmm.
All right, we love Simon Pegg and Nick
28
Frost
days
and
later for me.
Yeah.
For me, that's my
28
perfect
days
number.
later.
Will's
This is the thing, man. 28 Days Later is kind of. I don't know if it counts zombie because they're not really zombies.
Yeah,
You
there
know
are
what I
people
mean?
who are like
They're
eventually
just
dying. They're
really
starving themselves out.
violent
Yeah.
and mad. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just really violent and mad. Kind of like
Mhm.
yeah. But no,
Yeah,
28 Days Later is
exactly.
amazing though. That's
You
an amazing
guys-
movie though.
Do you guys think?
It's truly sorry.
Go ahead. I
Go
thought
on,
you
go
were
on.
done. Do you guys
go,
think?
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Yeah, do you guys think? Yeah, no. Go ahead then. I truly thought you was done. Go ahead.
You can go.
No, you can go, man. It's your turn.
I wanted to hear what you have to say.
Do you
Yeah.
do you guys think what's called what's the name of that fucking game? Dying Light 2 gonna flop?
Honestly,
That's hard.
I will be
It has a-
honest with you. It's in a
It has a
bad
loyal
space.
fan base, but it
It's
has
in
a
a-
loyal fan base.
Which
I hear
game?
that, but Dying Light 2,
Dying Light-
it comes out in
Dying
February.
Light.
You dropped that in
No.
February.
Oh wait. Oh shit. It's February.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
February.
right.
It's in the middle
Right.
it's in the middle of Horizon and Elden Ring. It's in the middle.
They need to
It's gonna
do.
get-
They need to pull a Saints Row, man. They need to fucking delay that game.
You're gonna have to do it because it's gonna get crushed. It's gonna get crushed.
Oh
It's between
man,
the
that's
two biggest
sad, man.
games of that month. The two biggest
Dying
games.
Light 2 is actually, looks actually amazing, man. Yeah, they need to delay it somehow.
And I
They need to
would
delay
say
it. And my other-
they need to delay it to at least the summer, at least.
And my other question is, do you guys think that what's the name of that game? Elden Ring will have the same impact that Bloodborne had, or what? Or it's going to
It
be
will have
Uh,
Elden Ring
I
is going to
think-
sell like crazy. I could just
Yeah,
tell
I
you
think-
that.
I think yes, yeah, because dude, man, it won like, dude, this game won most anticipated game once without it showing any kind of gameplay, man. Like I'm
Mhm.
telling you, like that shit was
Yeah.
crazy. And then it won twice. It won twice despite of God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West
Mhm.
being on the same list, right? It won again, and
Exactly.
and that only proves that it seems like the Souls community is growing way bigger and stronger than ever before. And yes, it's gonna sell like hotcakes, definitely.
And I will point this out between Horizon and Elden Ring, both fan bases are going to come out. I'm a Sony fan. If you go to my local GameStop and you try to go get Elden Ring or Horizon Forbidden West on hard copy, they don't got any. No more pre-orders. That tells you right there when the MPD drops that month for February, it's either going to be Horizon Forbidden West or Elden Ring, or it might even be a tie because both fan bases are going to come out. The reason why Elden Ring has a better chance of winning that month, Xbox and PC, and Horizon is just on PlayStation. But even with that, I'm gonna just tell you, I ain't gonna say every single person that got a PlayStation, but almost everybody I know that has a PlayStation is gonna buy Forbidden West. So it's gonna be tight.
Okay. With that being said, anyone else have anything to say?
No, it's good, man. It's just good discussion. No, but
Yeah, but
again,
that's what I'm
I was trying to hook you guys to Korean, the Korean
Oh,
cinema.
brother,
Although Weeb already said he's a veteran, though. Like Weeb is a veteran.
No. It's a lot of great Korean movies and TV shows, even on Netflix. Squid Game, Silent Sea,
Oh yeah,
you
Squid
name
Game
it.
was nice.
Yeah, a lot of Hellbound.
There's way more, man. Like
Yeah, but
like
I'm just saying what I see. This is what I can
no,
see.
it's all good. No, it's all good. Like they have a lot of movies there that are actually gems that people haven't discovered yet. Man, it's just great. Again, Carl, but did you watch Train to Busan? Did you?
I only watched Squid Game. That's it.
See that's what I meant, man. That's what. Dude, you're missing out, bro. Like you're missing out on the best zombie movie of all time. All right, it's on
I think
Netflix right
that's
now. If you
on.
got Netflix,
It is.
it's on
Well,
Netflix.
maybe it's not on Netflix in America.
Wait, it's not.
No.
Train to Busan is not on Netflix in America.
No. It's
Well,
like every region is slightly different.
Man, it's so. All right, yeah. But no, man. Again, you need to check out more. There's way more to watch, man. Like just look at Sumo watching Sweet Home, man. Then he wants to watch Hellbound after. Those great shows. Great shows.
Finished Hellbound season 1. Oh my god, I love that show.
Yeah,
Can't
I
wait for
did.
season
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Really
It's a great
good,
show.
really
Yeah,
good.
it's like
Silent
Sweet Home.
Sea. Yeah, Sweet
It's
Home
like
is
Sweet
good
Home as
too.
well.
But
Sweet Home is
Silent
good.
Sea
And
is
it's
a
gonna get so good.
nice sci-fi series they started as well. Silent Sea. That's a real good one as
Yeah,
well.
Silent Sea looks really good. I mean, it has the actor from Train to Busan in there, the father from Train to Busan. He's
Have
the main
y'all
actor.
watched Kingdom?
Yes, with
Yeah,
the
of course,
friends,
Kingdom.
with the
Yeah,
Kingdom
yeah,
was
Kingdom's
fucking
amazing.
Kingdom is the best zombie TV show
Yes, I
in
agree to that.
Netflix.
Yeah,
You watched the prequel at least, right? The Ashen of the North. Yeah,
yeah.
Yes,
I
that was
watched all of
brutal
it.
that
though.
was good.
Dude,
That was
I
man.
actually understood. Why she used those zombies. Like I understood,
Yeah.
I was like cheering I was cheering the zombie side. Like that was so weird to me.
Yep.
to me.
Yep.
That's the
It was a
thing.
weird
Like a
side of
lot.
being.
It's like Netflix,
It's
not just
creative.
Korea, but a lot of places around the world. You're starting to get a lot of more different places that have great cinema. You know?
Nah, man, like it's South Korea is really creative, man. Like I said, that's why
Yeah,
Hollywood
yeah.
keeps want to remake their movies. 'Cause they cannot thought of they cannot think of ideas like.
I agree. Like Hollywood's doing a thing now where it's just like reboots after reboots after reboots, and I'm just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
when is something original coming?
Something
Like-
brand new, right?
Right?
Like, I don't know
South
if,
Korea is doing it.
I don't know if you guys in America have this movie, but it's called I Saw the Devil.
I seen that.
I don't know.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the.
It's that Korean actor actually was he's also in Hollywood. Lee Byung-hun, he was in G.I. Joe. The
Uh-huh.
actor there.
Hmm. Yeah.
He was also in that Red sequel from Bruce Willis, that movie. But he was more famous in G.I. Joe. He was the He was the guy wearing all white.
The white.
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. The all white. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, and yeah, and I saw the devil. He was the actor with the old boy actor, the actor from Old Boy.
Yeah.
That was him. Yeah, that was the
The
star
thing
stat.
about Asian cinema, which is having an effect in the West, is it started with the horror, but it's actually everything. Because in Asia, y'all still do a lot of not sitcoms, but Korean dramas are really big, and the drama in America is kind of dead. Everything is superhero.
The Korean. The thing about South Korea is their philosophy in making movies or series is they really put in the budget. You know, like they got episodes. They got episodes worth of one Hollywood movie. You know what I mean? Like they actually put in the money in that shit. And my impression is that if they believe that the idea is good, they kind of like go all in with the budget and.
Like that movie Parasite, oh my gosh! I had to watch that movie like 2 or 3 times. It was so freaking phenomenal. Like just so well written, and the cinematography. I was just like this is what I've been missing from movies
in America.
Yeah,
in America, right? Yeah,
yeah.
It's like it's kind of bad here. If it ain't a superhero thing, I'm being honest. It's not really getting that much love. Yeah.
Oh man,
just look at our box office right now. It's Spider-Man, and to be honest, Spider-Man is the best movie. It came out last year. It came out at the end.
Yeah.
It was the best movie, and this year coming in, you got Morpheus coming up, you got Batman coming up, and being honest, I'm gonna say it right now. These are gonna be some of the best movies. Cause some of the other movies I'm looking at on the list, people ain't gonna go see that. You know.
No, but again, man, I don't run out of movies or TV shows to watch because I always watch Korean ones.
Is they already making that Train to Busan already? Did they already start production on that movie? Anybody?
No, the you mean the sequel, right?
No, the one for America's redoing it. I want to know.
I so hate that. Like, why?
You meant Last Train to New York. Sorry, man.
That's what it's called. Yeah, Last Train to New York.
Bro. Oh man.
There's no need for an American version.
I think they're also
perfect.
You know what's bad?
I think
about
they're
American
also.
Movies? Go ahead. Go ahead, Akira.
I think they're also gonna remake I Saw the Devil. I think they're also gonna remake that.
You know the problem with American movies is I watched some Korean horror films as well as their the TV shows, and that are violent. America has been sanitized. A lot of stuff we used to see when I was a kid, because I'm 40, they're basically taking it out of a lot of our movies. The zombies actually biting people and people bleed. If you watch World War Z, people don't even bleed and die. So it's been sanitized, to be honest with you. Even if a movie's really good, they don't show the gore factor like they used to. And in the Korean movie, they did. Like Hellbound, and when that dude first ran out of that restaurant, he got thrown into the. I'm sorry, I'm ruining it for people, but it was a really good series.
It wasn't the trailer. That part wasn't the trailer. They're actually making. They're making a new show, for Netflix as well. It's from also South Korea. It's basically a zombie show as well. The title was "All of Us Are Dead," and it kind of starts in a school.
Oh man, it might be really good.
It's based on like Hellbound and Sweet Home. They're based on Korean mangas, and All of Us Are Dead is also based on a Korean manga. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be good.
When does it release?
That's cool. Is that just nice below to death?
Huh?
No, absolutely not. All of Us Are Dead is more serious. It's more a serious TV show. More of a serious TV show.
And like Sweet Home is a serious show. It's not. It's not. Even Hellbound and a bunch of other ones watched on Netflix. they're not like you could watch some that's I haven't seen any, not really, that are like more off a little bit. Most of the shows I watch from Korea are kind of serious, to be honest with you.
You like mafia shows? Mafia. Like
It's a really
Okay.
good one on
mafia.
Netflix
No, do you have
too.
do you have a mafia show? Like, you should check Vincenzo.
I'm not sure
Vincenzo.
if this. I don't know if this is Korean. Well, I think it is Japanese rather. But they
Which one?
got this one on Netflix right now. It's Netflix or another one streaming my service they got. It's called Yakuza Princess. That's really good too. If you,
It's Japanese.
yeah, that's Japanese one. But I'm saying it's really good. It's really good.
But yeah, it seems like Omar wants to go to sleep. Right, Omar? What's up?
Oh, you want to
man?
go to sleep, Omar?
No, I just want to end the show. But if
Okay,
anyone else,
I will ask one thing real quick before we
go
leave.
ahead. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the Final Fantasy delay and how bad is this bad for the series? I understand they say a good game is a good game no matter when it released, but if you release a game that's bad, it's bad forever. I get that, but I really wanted Final Fantasy 16 this year, you know? And now, I mean, Sony's lineup is still banging, no doubt about it. That game right there is like a hole, you know what I'm saying? And if it came out in the fall right next to God of War, that would be the perfect year for Sony. And I wanted to ask Akira, there's no chance in this world it's coming out this year.
Okay, so here's the thing, all right. I said this before, right? Yoshi P said that, well, spring 2022 we're gonna get an update about 16, right? Now, the last thing he said was that the next time he's gonna show the second trailer, he wants it to be an instant buy. He wants it to be on pre-order instantly, and he wants the release date to not be so far from the pre-order date so that people don't need to wait too long to play Final Fantasy 16. Now, if that would still be true, then there's still a chance that it's 2022. However, this is also Square Enix, so I'm starting to believe as well they don't want to release too many big guns in 1 year. You know, because it's kind of like games that they work long on. They don't want to release them all in 1 year, and which is, you know, obviously Forspoken is the one that they also worked long on, kind of like AAA budget. And they releasing some small projects here and there. They got also Final Fantasy, Stranger of Paradise, and there's basically got many games, right? And Square Enix is kind of like the company who does not like to put all of their eggs in one basket. Is kind of like what it's called. So there is a possibility because of what Yoshi P said, but if circumstances are that they don't want to release too many games in the same year or too many big games in the same year, then yeah, it might be 2023, like first quarter, you know, to start the year off with a big game again under their name. That's kind of like how I see it.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it then. I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. No. All right, guys. That was a good talk. All right, take
with
care.
that being said, shout out to everyone that showed up. Shout out to the people that didn't show up. Next week we're gonna get back to regular scheduling.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Let me see who is up, who is awake. Go ahead, do your outro. Start with Akira.
Yeah, I'm again Zakira, and you know, find me on Twitter, and you can talk about JRPGs and everything gaming from the east and west and all over the world, basically. And yeah, take care. I'm a go. All right.
Later.
Take care.
Okay.
What's up? What's up?
Anything is up. Go ahead, do your outro.
I just want to say, Otter Nation,
Hey, Outer Nation, let's go.
Combination.
You guys are awesome. I've enjoyed the discussions that we all have had. And I just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Anyone who's up for the challenge, I'm ready. Just give me your address and I'll be there.
What
Listen
challenge?
to this one.
What challenge is that?
Let's see who comes first.
Ah,
Okay.
You're literally
Okay.
playing
Right
with
now.
you're
Okay, I
playing
see
with
what's going
fire
on.
over here.
Yeah, you are. Mhm.
No.
I'm
She
gonna
said,
use
whatever comes first.
I'm gonna
She's so
use what's his name? Terran method. Are you trying to be famous?
She said that on Twitter, but she definitely be famous, right?
When he's sleeping. But that's okay.
If she made
Be
that
what?
joke with what's his name, Lionel, I get it, but you literally now made that with the entire YouTube, not YouTube, internet. So you
she
really
said,
wanna
"Put
be
your money where
famous?
your mouth is."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's your funeral, lady.
He
We
said,
gotta
"Your
move to Morgana.
What's up, guys? It's Morgan, aka Morgana, aka Chili Bandit. You
You got a
know.
place for something."
But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in, even though I came through late. It was a great discussion, some great topics, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
So
Same
yeah,
to you,
goodbye.
MK. And same to you.
Blue.
Yeah, it's Blue Rhizome, aka the Weep Sheriff. Other Nation, of course.
Outer Nation.
What is Otter
Gotta
Nation?
see this Otter Nation. Jesus.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be big. Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody, and yeah, the same offer that Kay has also comes from me. So hit me up.
Yeah, whoever comes first. I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
Terran.
Thank you, brothers and sisters, for having me here. Happy New Year to you. Happy more year gaming forward on us. That's all I have to say.
Okay, with that being said, shout out to everyone for coming through. Great conversation. It's fucking crazy when we don't even have fucking topics and we went 3 hours. Yes, that's what gaming is about. Oh, and Stage, of course, our guest.
I mean, yeah, you can find me on Twitter. Yeah, I'm here to support Karaba.
Yeah, thank you for coming through. And yeah, for everyone else, see you next week. We're out of here. Let me end the stream. Oh my god, it's showcasing